You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
What's up, baby? Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Oh, hey, guys.
And Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
What is up, guys?
Oh, God, folks. My throat is screaming at me like, why did you do this? And so
Yeah.
I sincerely apologize for my voice. It doesn't quite have the gravitas that it normally does, but I'm going to power through this because...
But we all know why.
Oh,
And
God.
that makes your voice even better than it usually is.
You're right. You all understand. I don't have a victory shot, but I've got some victory tea right here to sip on to soothe my savage throat.
His voices are going to be good.
Sips tea.
French fried titered. Titered.
All right, folks. God, hopefully you watched that instant reaction and felt the energy that we all did from this game, this monumental game, this unforgettable game against the Cleveland Browns. What?
Yeah.
You can't. There's no way to like summarize what all happened in a short amount of time. There was so much from start to finish. It was just an outright battle. Like that's all it was. Just constant cannons firing from either side, and it was
Literally
crazy to
and
be there.
figuratively.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Yes, it was just being there in person was crazy. It was insane. Blessedly, I didn't go alone. I went with two awesome guys, two great guys that I will never forget were with me at this game. Matt, aka Get Some Sports, and Albert, aka Ginger Kid, were there with me, and you guys were amazing. I was so happy to have you guys there. I got there, rode up on 5 North Bolt, which was also another amazing experience. Shout out to Patty for getting my fat butt up there. It was awesome being up there on the 5 North Bolt, headbanging with all the people on the bus to AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
That's going to be a new tradition video.
Yeah.
Every week, anytime we go to a game, you headbang on a bus or a vehicle or whatever you're in on the way to the stadium.
Absolutely, folks. If you this isn't just for us. This is for you guys too. If you
Bring
guys
them
are
in.
going to the game, crank up some AC/DC Thunderstruck. Nod your head, tag us on Twitter or Instagram or whatever your method is, and number one, it's going to make us really happy.
We're going to try next season when we do a new intro video to start incorporating some more headbanging. So if you got headbanger,
There you go.
You won't get in on that intro video. Let's go, baby.
That's right. So getting up on 5 North Bolt, meeting up with Albert, and then just walking around Thunder Alley. I got to actually explore Thunder Alley. I wasn't limited to the one lane that we were limited to on that first time.
Yeah.
And thank God I was, because I ran into Senior Snappy and Senora Snappy.
Yes.
And God bless them. They hooked a brother up with some barbacoa nachos, which were just so delicious. So delicious. And I participated in Senior Snappy's tradition of the 10 squats with the kettlebell.
How you
And
feeling?
God damn you, Senior Snappy. My thighs, it hurts to stand. How dare you take that away from me? I'm sure I'll get better. But hanging out.
When was the last time you did squats, Wooldog?
I don't know. I was trying to think of the last time I even did any kind of exercise, let alone squats with a kettlebell.
You
or
got to jump
kettlebell.
into the major leagues there, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Senior Snappy. But it was so awesome to hang with those two.
What was it like? What was the Thunder Alley like? Because there seemed like there were a lot more Charger fans there this game.
I think there was. I mean, I think it was very similar to the first one. I don't recall there being a live band, although I wasn't there for like the entirety of Thunder Alley, so there might have been one earlier, but everybody was just having a good time.
Yeah.
Everybody was just having a blast, and it just good vibes. Like the fact that people set up stands with alcohol and with food, and they're not asking for any money. They're just like, donations are, greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
What an awesome, friendly, like inclusive environment to allow people to just come and enjoy great food from these people and great company. I've never experienced anything like that outside of our first time going to that stadium. So it really just it was just an awesome time walking around, meeting other people and other folks that, wanted to take pictures with me. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for posting that on Twitter. Again, those are memories that I will never forget.
Epic game with epic memories.
God. So walking around with Albert, we make our way over to the stadium. There was quite a few lines as far as getting in because you had to show either your proof of COVID vaccinations or negative tests. Thankfully, no issues with us getting in. And we got in right as the guys were hitting the field, and it was electric. It was what it was. And, people were asking me, they're like, how do you think, the Cleveland Browns game is going to go? And I was like, something in me feels like this is going to be a good game. Like, this is going to be an awesome game. And I didn't say that thinking that it was going to be quite the shootout that it was,
Yeah.
No one expected that.
I said that looking at their injury report, knowing that Baker Mayfield was with an injury and going like, I think this is going to be a pretty damn special game, especially with you, Coach, when you were breaking down that classroom and showing like how we can be exploitive to the Cleveland Browns. It was just like, oh God, this could be good. And we got to our seats, and it was just an amazing experience just watching us just constantly go back and forth. Like I said on the instant reaction, it was peaks and valleys. Like, we go 3 and out on that first possession, Cleveland scores, but then we come back, and then Cleveland scores, and then we come back, and it was just like constantly up and down. It was just like, man. So obviously, like, my voice is gone because of that, because it was just this constant screaming. Like, I don't remember what play.
It sounded loud in there, dude.
It was
like
loud, dude. So
crowd was getting behind, helping our boys out.
I could see quite a few empty seats, but obviously not to the point that like it was quiet in the stadium. I would say that because we sat at obviously at the same seats that we've sat at before, there were a few Cleveland Brown fans, but not as many that I recall from the Dallas game. And I don't know what the situation was for the Raider game, but there were definitely a lot more Charger fans in our section. So that was really promising.
That's awesome. And then also the Raiders, they got overwhelmed by Bears fans in Vegas. So
isn't that a shame?
Oh boy.
Whose house?
Not yours.
Not
Get out.
Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was a touchdown that I was so hyped for. I screamed as loud as I could, and like my vision started to get like blurry. And I had like a surreal moment, like an out of body experience. Like, whoa, dude, like you need to chill out for a second and
Calm
sit
down,
down.
Wooldog.
Yeah, I think there's a video that that Matt
Got to put that shock collar on, Wooldog.
I got to know when to stop, but you can't help it, man. Like it was such an emotional game because you were just so invested in what would happen, and you always trusted that Herbert was going to take care of business, and obviously he did. Those fourth down conversions. I mean, I think I talked to Kyle about it. It was just I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah,
I lost the power of speech. It was just you can't help but think about all the times in years past. I think we've gone from, I don't know the stats, so you folks out there look this up and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that we've gone for more fourth down conversions in this season than the Chargers have possibly in the entirety of their existence, because we would have seasons where, number one, we wouldn't go for fourth down, and number two, we
don't go for fourth down on our own 20-yard line. It's
with like more than 1 yard to go.
Kyle question his coaching.
Yeah, it's fourth and inches or fourth and 1 that we would ever go for a fourth down conversion, not in our own territory. And I can't believe it. So I'm really curious how many fourth down conversions we've attempted and completed in the past history of the Chargers. But man, just what an awesome game to be at. And what a great experience. I mean, obviously, there's only been a handful of games at SoFi Stadium, so to be at that game with a win and just see the stadium, obviously change. You see the Oculus change to the we win business, and everybody's just cheering, and you got the guys on the field, and it was amazing. I can't express that.
We're happy that you were there. Dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, the only way it would have been better is if you guys were there to share it with me.
Sounds like we had some good replacements, though.
Oh, you had some. Honestly, the company of Albert and Matt were just unmatched, and I'm so glad that I got to spend it with them. And got to go to the big pro shop also, which I mean, there was just no good time. Like if we were up by like 2 or 3 scores, I might have moseyed on over there just to go check it out like mid game. But it was such a tight game that like you couldn't get up from your seat for very long, fear of missing something. So we went over to the shop afterwards, and that was a bad move. Everybody was going into that pro shop
after a big W. Yeah, after probably made a couple bucks.
Yeah, I'm sure they made thousands, if not more.
Millions.
But there's a lot of cool swag in there. So next time you guys go, I would make it a point to go to that other pro shop. It's on the other side of where our seats are, and down 1 level. So
done.
And then to top it all off, we went to Matt's car, and he gave me these box of cookies that had our freaking faces on them. I mean,
faces on them.
It's so good. It is such an amazing thing. So Matt's wife.
How did my head taste?
It was
no. Matt's wife is like an artiste. Like it was like
clearly,
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Absolutely amazing that she would take the time out of her day to paint our stupid faces on an edible cookie that was promptly consumed. So
we appreciate you.
I can't thank you enough for that. You guys, you made it such a memorable game. Thank you guys so much. And it was so memorable that our own, and obviously Justin Herbert getting nominated for the FedEx Air Player of the Week. We all know what Boltfam's doing right now, right?
Go vote right now. Let's
vote refresh.
Because he's competing against Tom Brady right now, but Tom Brady played the Dolphins defense, and we just played one of the better defenses in the league. And what he did, how he came back, how he scored, go vote him into FedEx Player of the Week Air Edition.
I couldn't believe that Austin Eckler wasn't nominated for the ground. Austin Eckler had a game, dude. I can't believe that he got snubbed.
A big part of his game was receiving stuff too. He was I think that must have been how they justified not putting him on there, because it's just the ground stuff.
Maybe. Don't care.
Still put him on there.
Austin Eckler deserves
your logic
to be the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. But yes, folks, go check it out. Go vote for Justin Herbert. Vote refresh. We need to get our boy in that FedEx Air Player of the Week. All right, folks, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor, Symbol. Symbol is the stock market for sports that allows you to trade sports teams like stocks and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Symbol has blended sports and the stock market to offer you a new way to invest in and profit off your favorite sports teams without the high fees and high losses of gambling. Use your sports knowledge to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Join the 7,000 plus early adopters who have started to invest in their favorite teams. Visit www.symbol.com. That's www.simbull.com to create a free account. And when you deposit, make sure you use the promo code ChargerChat to make your deposit risk-free. Even if you lose money, Symbol will refund your initial deposit in the first 90 days. That's a sweet deal. Join Symbol and start investing and profiting from your favorite teams. Kev, how we doing?
Monies. All the monies. So we bought.
Are we making it rain?
We are doing something. We're collecting some internet dollars, also real dollars.
Nice.
Because Chargers, we have 7 shares, and they're going up and up and up and up. And I couldn't be happier about it, because we just made another $10.
Hey, I like $10.
No big deal. So we're killing it over there, and it's so much. I kind of like it better than gambling because I'm not as stressed about like what's going to happen. It's just like I'm gonna sit on this thing and just let it accrue. It's like a really nice, like just kind of savings plan, really.
Yeah.
So because we're the Chargers and we're this freaking good. So
right.
I don't know. I would recommend if you want to come with us to Symbol.
Come with us, brothers.
Let's make money,
brothers
together.
And sisters. Come to Symbol and make some money.
You know what we do? We walk in like this to Symbol, like, give us our money. We're the Chargers.
We're here for our money.
Yeah. So yeah, do it. Do it soon.
Do it now. All right, folks. And looking at basically some of the tweets and updates and newses that have happened from this previous game, we all saw our boy Ode Ibushi go down and wasn't sure what the issue was. Turns out torn ACL, dadgummit.
Done for the season.
Yeah, it's going to need surgery, done for the season.
He was playing at such a freaking high level, too.
Right.
He was doing so well. The offense was humming with him there. And to see him go down, that just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
a bummer for him, too. He was only on, didn't we bring him on a 1 year?
Yeah.
He was on a 1 year deal.
1 year deal from Detroit. Yeah.
I would have no problem extending him. Zero issues with that.
It's just hard, man. Like, a guy in the middle of his career now on an ACL tear is going to have to rehab that and come back. It's the guy is just, he's going to be on another 1 year deal. Like that's the bottom line. So I wouldn't mind if that's a friendly deal for the Chargers. Heck,
absolutely.
He was playing at a super high level. So we'll have to wait and see how all that transpires.
And we got kind of lucky on that Schofield signing. Like kind of worked out pretty well to have him be able to plug him in because he played a lot Sunday.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Brandon Hymus, like I thought he had a good preseason. There's a lot of good talk about him in the camp, and then he's been like a healthy scratch the last few weeks, not even on the squad. And they bring in Schofield, but somehow freaking Pipkins is still floating around. I don't know,
haunting our halls.
It'll be it's definitely something to keep an eye on, right? That's one of the big storylines here this week is seeing how all of that transpires and who becomes new twos and what gets elevated if we go after anyone to try to pick somebody up. It's a new storyline to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Looking over at Daniel Popper, there was
I love this.
There was
I love this tweet.
Quote from Austin Eckler. He said, Austin Eckler said Rashawn Slater told the running backs to stop chipping because he was more comfortable taking on Myles Garrett and the Browns pass rushers one-on-one. Rashawn is a beast, Eckler said.
Dude, and not only, there's two things to this quote. Not only did he like feel comfortable enough going one-on-one with one of the best pass rushers in the game,
right?
But he had the nuts to say, not Austin Eckler, stop helping me.
Right.
Like as a rookie to go to one of the captains of the team and be like, dude, knock it off. I'm good. Don't help me anymore.
For those that aren't as up to speed on the lingo, what does chipping mean?
Yeah. So the running back, before he goes out on a pass block or a route, he'll come and just give a little bump to the defensive end or whoever the pass rusher is. And it's supposed to help you because it slows him down a little bit.
Right.
Basically, you have a double team on that pass rusher for a split second. So that way you know that you have help one way or the other. But yeah, Rashawn's like, dude, I because it's a little bit unknown. Like, when is he going to show up? When's that help coming? How much force is that help going to bring? Because on the one sack that Rashawn allowed to Myles Garrett was Austin Eckler came to chip, and he chipped him so hard that he like pushed him down inside to an open gap. And Rashawn wasn't ready to slide inside with him because he kind of just got forced in there. So that's pretty crazy that he had the balls to be like, Austin, stop helping me, and the balls to be like, no, I'll just take these guys on one-on-one. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel comfortable doing this. I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just a killer mentality. Like he's ready to do it all on his own. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing lights out, this entire season, and so he's just what a home run for picking him up in the draft. Looking over at Sports Center, they were dropping some nice little factoids. Apparently, the Browns made NFL history and still lost to the Chargers. The Browns scored 42 points, had 532 yards with 0 turnovers. They are the first team in NFL history, including the playoffs, to lose when having either 40 points and 0 turnovers, or 40 points, 500 yards, and 0 turnovers. The highest losing score.
Justin Herbert is a monster, dude. Like this, you look at this, no turnovers. We had a turnover and still won.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the fourth down balls. Fourth down balls are strong.
Clearly.
And it's Herbert being able to literally do anything outside of the pocket. The way he was throwing on the run while scrambling, he like stiff armed a guy and tossed it. Like we are so lucky.
We are so lucky.
It's crazy. It's
just
a crazy
an
game.
Absolute stud.
Yeah, obviously it's the whole offense, right? Our offensive line is incredible.
They're clicking, dude. They're clicking
the
really
talent
good.
that we have in Austin Eckler and Mike Williams, who's now a breakout guy that
he's number one.
Everyone that said, everyone that wanted us to cut Mike Williams, you need to go on Twitter and apologize, like right now. Go stop watching and go apologize, because there was a lot of shade getting thrown at Mike.
Sure.
Like even I think at times we were kind of like, yeah, we're paying him a lot, but let's hold on hope. Let's see what happens.
Right.
But man, if I ever did say anything negative, I apologize right now, because he is proving everyone wrong, and that man is going to get paid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been playing so, like, to think that we've had him on our roster this long and haven't seen this, it just shows you what Lombardi and this new offensive staff is doing. It's just crazy. They unlocked the key. They unlocked it for Mike Williams, and he's a stud.
They cracked the code for sure. And talking about Herbert, boy, this guy just can't stop breaking records himself. Most 300-yard performances in NFL history through the first 2 seasons of a career. Well, for a while, it was Patrick Mahomes and Dan Marino with 10. But look out, boys.
There's still a lot of football left.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of football left.
Herbo is now sitting by himself at number 1 with 11 300-yard performances in his first 2 seasons.
Crazy.
He's our trigger man.
He's
as Coach Staley said in
superstar,
the
as Coach Staley
he's our
said.
trigger man. Yeah,
he's a gangster, 100%.
He's a superstar, gangster.
Certified
what
gangster.
else is there? Certified gangster.
He's a football Jesse. Was that one? I can't remember. Let's see. Looking over at Field Yates, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert through his first 20 games, 5,912 passing yards, second most by any QB in NFL history, and 50 total touchdowns.
Wait, what? 20 games, 50 touchdowns?
Yeah. He now has 7 games with at least 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, the most by any quarterback through his first 2 seasons in NFL history.
And I don't know if I went and watched this game a couple times today. And when there was the Keenan Allen, they thought it was a fumble and they were running it back for a touchdown.
That scared us so hard.
He jacked up, like Herbert put his shoulder down and he launched the guy out of bounds. Like he hit him hard. So, he's still got that in him, like the knocking out linebackers thing. He just, doesn't get to show very often.
He's always ready to play.
That's a pretty big bummer. You think that you recovered a fumble and you're running back. I'm going to score a touchdown. I'm going to score a touchdown. And then the quarterback just out of nowhere
trucks him.
And then not only that, but it's not a fumble and it goes back and Justin gets the ball back,
Yeah.
Oh,
insult to injury on that one.
Oh, well. All right. Well, now let's take a look at some of the post press conference quotes. Coach Staley had this to say about Herbert. To win a game like this that turns into a track meet, you have to have a superstar quarterback to win it, and that's what he is. You can't win a game like that without Justin Herbert.
The love affair continues.
Yeah.
Coach and Justin.
Game recognizing game,
sitting
man.
in a tree. Balling.
Oh, there it was. Oh, there it was. You made it.
I did there.
I love it. Let's see. They talked to Herbert as well on his 4th down plays. We always talked about going into that huddle and feeling confident and knowing each other, knowing all the players in that huddle are special players, and any of those guys can make a play on 4th down. I know we've got the right guys out there.
Love you, Herbert. He's so he gets asked about himself all the time, and he can't talk about himself.
No.
He won't talk about himself. He talks about everybody else.
He's basically Teflon when he's talking about himself. It just like rubs off of him, and no, this goes to this person. It rubs off him, and no, it goes
I'm
to
rubber,
this person.
you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Sweet.
Yeah, God, such a good guy. Let's see. They talked to Mike Williams as well on if he was surprised on how open he was getting. Because, yeah, dude, he was getting pretty damn wide open. His response was, yeah, I was. Really haven't be like that easy. The second one, I set it up and ran a double move. But the first one, I think, was a little busted coverage.
I think it's interesting because they are getting to the ball so quick. A lot of these big plays are when the defense isn't lined up. They're not ready. They're not ready to go. So it's so interesting the plan of attack that Lombardi has in terms of the hurry up offense, the speed at which they get going, so the other team doesn't have the ability to line up correctly. And then you see what happens to Mike Williams. He doesn't get, that doesn't happen.
It just goes back to, and this is kind of a repetitive point, but like they game plan for each week. It's something different. They have a unique, this is what we're doing this week. And it was very clear that this week, one of the unique aspects that they went into this game with is on third down, we're going to no huddle and get to the line quick. So they can't switch personnel. They can't change coverage. They're just going to have to run what we already saw on second down. And it'll give us the advantage. Because, coach is up there. He calls his second down play. He's now looking at the coverage there and on second down and thinking, okay, what's the beat? How do I beat that coverage? And then has it boom in Justin's ear right when that second down play is over. And that was part, obviously practice. That was the game plan specifically for the Browns this week. And it's just cool to see like your coaches each week coming up with a master game plan, like something specific and unique for that opponent. Now, obviously our defensive game plan we had one, it just didn't execute. Didn't work.
Right. Yeah.
But offensively, they had a very clear, concise idea and plan in it, and they executed.
Absolutely. And then they also talked to Staley on the fan turnout, and he said, what we are trying to respect here every time we go out. And today was a great chance against a really good team. What you got to be able to do is you've got to be able to beat good teams in this league. And I felt like to be able to do it in front of our home crowd, hopefully that draws even more in the next game. We are proud of our fans and hope to see more powder blue as the season goes on.
Yeah. The more they win, the less people are going to sell their tickets and they're going to want to show up.
Yeah.
Or LA's people living in LA are going to want to go to the game and cheer for the Chargers.
Right.
They're winning.
What you just watched, like that was one of the most fun games to watch all Sunday. And you can do that in LA. You can just go to the game and watch that in person and experience the way you experienced it.
Yeah.
Like this is like we talked about. It's like Herbert is changing this fan base. He's going to bring more people in.
I know you're obsessed with Herbert. Like you're very obsessed. I know. But it is more than just Herbert bringing everyone to the stadium.
It's a team effort.
But Herbert is the reason for the season at the moment, bro.
Our coaching staff is incredible, and they're doing a great job scheming.
Do me a favor. Go watch all the ESPNs, all the Fox Sports, all the stuff that's happened today has been about Herbert. I'm just talking about the great.
Sweetheart.
No. No. Shut up for a second.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. Yeah. Just for a second. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Oh boy.
That's all I had. Actually, I just want to
you got nothing. I'm not saying that.
You kind of sound like you're not in love with Herbert, and I kind of want to revoke your card right now.
I'm just trying to cool your jets. You don't leave your family and go try to chase after Justin Herbert. It's what it's sounding like you're going to do.
It's meant to be. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Right. All right,
Shut your
folks.
mouth, Kyle.
You hate all other Chargers except Justin Herbert. That's
no,
what
I
it feels
did.
like.
Whoa, you're putting words in my mouth that I never said.
Whoa.
You settle down.
Everybody.
Who's the one riled up right now?
Everybody cool your jets. It's all good. We are all shamelessly positive. We are the Charger Chat. We talk about all Chargers, not just Justin Herbert. We love them all.
Smack you in a while.
The only Chargers name that's come out of Kevin's mouth is Justin Herbert for the last 6 weeks for sure.
Guys, please hop in the comments and tell Kyle how fucking stupid he is.
Or somebody go back and try to find Kevin talking about a different Charger in the last 6 weeks.
I just did at the beginning of this episode. Dr. O'Day. I talked about all these guys. Shut your mouth, Kyle. Shut your mouth.
Okay. Sorry. I just had to get that out.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to get some sweet merch with these two crazy guys' face on it. You can go on over to chargerchat.com and
maybe taking Kyle's face off the graphic on this one.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, we're gonna get a T-shirt and just get an X through Kyle's face.
It'll be Justin Herbert's face taped on there.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make a new shirt that has Kevin holding a sign of just Justin Herbert's face.
If you would like to design a new logo with any of these possibilities, feel free to submit it to us over on our Twitter or Instagram. But over at chargerchat.com, we have a member section on our page. A lot of you have already joined, and the group chats have already started. I see you guys out there chit-chatting it up. Please feel free to head over there and sign up. And don't forget, folks, winter is coming. It's already cold here in Boise. It's like 50. I got off the plane. It was like 54 degrees outside. It was
nice.
Chilly. So go over to chargerchat.com, get yourself a sweet sweater to add to your collection. If you want to stay warm and in style, go check out chargerchat.com. All right, folks. Well, now it's time for a Coach's Corner segment. Given how spicy this episode has gone so far, I think it's going to be a good one. Let's go check it out.
I think I'm going to build in some pop quizzes. I know Kevin's going to fail.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Right. Here we go, folks. Let's see
Whatever.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
All comes down to today.
You take this helmet and you put it right in his numbers, okay? I want to see nothing but snot bubbles in his nose.
A lot of people want to blame coaches for a lot of things.
Nobody puts coaches
trade up,
in we shut them down because we can't.
It's because I believed in you.
And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Let's do it.
That's right, folks. It's time for another Coach's Corner. And for this episode, Coach is going a little rogue. He doesn't have a question to pull from. He just saw something about this game that he couldn't help himself. He just had to talk about this. So, Coach, what do you got for us today?
Does it have to do with Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert's on the plays. Yeah, he's
Let's go.
the place.
I'm excited.
I'll make sure to talk about some other Chargers too, because
We'll find out.
I'm a Charger fan, not just
Spread
a Justin
the love.
Herbert fan. Yeah. So I wanted to look at the fourth down conversions. Obviously, it was a huge turning point in the game. After going back in the moment, there was a lot going on. Very emotional time when all these plays started to happen. So after having sat down and thought about it more, the more I thought about it, the more I understand what Coach was trying to do. What has been the quarter that's kind of screwed us the last 3 weeks? The third quarter has just been our bugaboo for whatever reason. Yeah. We have these big leads, like last week against the Raiders, and we gave up 14 points, boom, 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 just like that, and it almost became a game again. Same thing against the Chiefs. We had a little lead. They came back, boom. They scored a couple times in the third quarter, got a little lead on us. It was just it started to trend to be a difficult time for us coming out of the half. And again, in this game, the Browns scored a touchdown at the end of the second quarter. We then got the ball and fumbled, and they kicked the field goal. So they got 10 points in a matter of like a minute and a half. And then they got the kickoff to start the second half, and they went down and scored a touchdown. So they had 17 points in like a 5-minute span, and we didn't even have the ball. So momentum was 100% all theirs. We had no momentum. We hadn't had the ball for a while. Our defense wasn't really able to do anything in getting a stop or forcing a turnover. So Coach goes, hey, this third quarter is going to be different. They have all the momentum. Right now, this is do or die. I really believe that if we didn't get this fourth down conversion, we lose the game. Because they get the ball, they're going to score, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. But all the momentum is theirs completely. We have nothing. So he finds a way to manufacture our own momentum by being aggressive and saying, hey, we're going to go down. And if we lose, we're trying to win the game. You know, we're not going to lose by trying not to lose the game. Punting here is trying not to lose the game because, you know, if you don't get it, it's basically game over. Even though it's the third quarter, there's still a lot of time. Man, if you're down 21 points in the third quarter, that's a tough mountain to climb, especially since
absolutely.
We know what they had been doing on offense. Yeah. They're gonna get to 500 yards of offense here in this game. So this was very much a do or die. He had to take a chance, even though he's a very analytic driven guy. I promise you, the analytics did not tell him to go for it here on 4th and 2 at your own 24-yard line. That's not an analytic call. That's a gut call. That's a, hey, we need momentum back. We need to go make something happen, make a play, and score some points. So just cool to see all those things going into this call that, for me as a fan watching this at the restaurant that we were at, it was split second. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Why did he do this? What are we going to do? And then on top of that, what really got me is looking at the play call. So I'm going to run it for you guys. I don't know who else, but I mean, okay, Kevin, we all like Justin Herbert. We expected 4th and 2, the ball's in Justin's hands. I expected some kind of a rollout, let him run or throw, get the ball to Keenan, because that's what we do on most of our 4th downs or 3rd and down, like situations where we need to make something happen. But we hand the ball. Not only do we hand the ball off on 4th and 2 at our own 24, but we do it on a running play that I don't know, I haven't specifically seen us do this year with a backup offensive lineman. So what's going to happen, guys? I'll draw this up for you, and so you can kind of see it. What's going to happen is they're going to run a trap or a power, I guess you could call it, but really it's a trap. So we're normally a zone blocking scheme, right? Meaning all the linemen start going one way. They leave this guy unblocked. He's reading the quarterback, and he's either going to hand the ball off or keep it around the edge. That's kind of our base scheme, is a zone blocking scheme. They're going into a power running play right here, and I absolutely love it because it's just that little wrinkle and change of pace that kept the Browns off. Like they're not used to seeing these blocks. They hadn't maybe even prepared for it going into this week. So it threw their eyes off. It throws off how you defeat a block. They're all expecting, obviously, I would anticipate a pass, or you're expecting a really hard zone, inside zone scheme. What they do is these guys are all going to wall down. So the beautiful thing about a power running game is it's down blocks. So you have Parham is here at tight end. He's going to down block to this linebacker. Our tackle Slater is going to down block on this 3 tech. Everyone's down blocking this way. So everyone's blocking down. You're creating this big wall. And then what they do is they pull Schofield. So Schofield's going to take a step back and come straight down the line. And he is responsible for kicking out Myles Garrett. So what they did on 4th and 2 at our own 24 is they take Schofield, they pull him when we don't pull, really. They pull him and kick out Myles Garrett. And Austin Eckler runs right inside of Schofield's kick out for a gain of like 10. I'm just going to run the play, and I'll run it a couple times so you guys can see. But it's pretty incredible how we changed our whole scheme just to create a little wrinkle so that we can get that 4th down. Like they had that in their pocket. They know, hey, for a short yardage situation, we're going to run this play because it's a wrinkle that they haven't seen. They're not going to be ready for, and we're going to go get this 1st down. It executed perfectly. The other thing that they did have is Justin had the opportunity. He could have thrown it if he wanted to. Up here, you're going to see Mike Williams doesn't block anyone. He runs just past the sticks and runs it out. So if Justin didn't like the look, he could have kept it, thrown it right to Mike, and he had that option. So it was like an RPO. He had those 2 options because he could have kept and thrown here, but he trusted this offensive line. He trusted Schofield to go block and kick out one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL because they had this in their playbook for 4th downs, and they trusted it and they executed to perfection. Like, look, watch Parham's block as he goes upfield. He just creates this wall. Watch Parham on the end. He's going to go get it. Boom. I can stop it right here. Look at this wall right here.
Yeah.
It's just a straight wall. All you have to get is this one kick out. These guys, Keenan has a great block on the edge to seal. We're coming up here to seal here. And he just runs right along this wall, and there's nobody. Just a cool wrinkle in the running game that you don't even know. I didn't notice. I was like, oh, shoot, they're running the ball. Oh, my God, what are we doing?
Right.
But when you go back and look at it, it's like Waterboy. You remember Waterboy, the coach? The coach had that blue like folder with all of his special plays that he stole from the other coach. That's like Lombardi has his like blue folder that he busts out on 4th down. And it's just like wrinkle plays that it doesn't look like a huge big difference, but that is a power running scheme on 4th and 2 that just adds a little wrinkle to get people off. So even looking at it going back, it's just incredible coaching, great call, big balls to do it still, but executed perfectly. All right, so here's the next 4th down. That same exact drive. This is a couple minutes later in the game. We're down. This is field goal range, right? This is a 38-yard field goal if we had, or 39, 40-yard field goal if we attempted it from here. You're in field goal range, but coach knows I need momentum. Momentum comes from touchdowns. Momentum comes from like stepping on their throat when you have an opportunity. Momentum doesn't come from dink field goals. That's just not how it happens. That's great to get points on the board, but that's not a momentum shifter. The defense takes that as a win, especially if we had gotten that 4th down conversion, Defense comes down and holds for a field goal. That's a win for them. You know what I mean? So coach was like, no, you're not going to have any wins on this drive. It's 4th and 7. I don't care. We're going to go for it. Again, this is what we would expect on a 4th down. I guess on a 4th and 7, I don't really know what the play is on 4th and 7. But you're going to see us go to old reliable, which some people are talking smack about him dropping balls, but he doesn't drop these ones on 4th and 7. You have Mike Williams. He's going to come up and run off. Keenan's going to work inside, and then he just gets separation so fast. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this play because it's just Keenan in man-to-man. Justin knows right where he's going because it's man-to-man. He knows Keenan's going to get open. He just gets so much separation. It's like this is a 10-yard route, and watch how wide open. Like he has 2 or 3 yards of separation on this guy. It's crazy when the ball's thrown right here. Like that's hard to do. That's wide open, quote unquote, separation on a 10-yard route. Right. That's what makes Keenan Allen one of the best route runner in the NFL is he can get separation on a guy, and the guy has room, right? He has 7 yards. Keenan still is able to take all that away and then get that 2-3 yards of separation. That's just way too easy. It just simply is way too easy for Keenan to get that kind of separation. Another gigantic play right off the bat. And the thing that I was thinking about too, especially in this 3rd quarter drive right here, the defense is kind of getting their butt kicked. You're on the sideline watching. One, you're getting a break, which is good. You're getting a breather because these guys are going on a drive. But it's also like, man, let's go. You know, like our offense is out there making plays, converting 2 4th down. I'm ready to go run through a brick wall. I was sitting at the bar. I was ready to go run through a wall.
Right.
That defense is sitting there watching. They're like, oh my God, all right, let's go. We got the momentum. We're gonna get back in this game. So just a huge drive. This drive right here is how we won the game because we just rode that momentum the rest of the game. All right, so this is the one where they got a little bit upset, thought it wasn't a pass interference. 4th and 4 in the 4th quarter. We're down 7 points. We need to go score, obviously, again. This is the Mike Williams pass interference. It's just this is showing Kevin's favorite player in the history of the NFL getting outside of the pocket. And like he said earlier, using his feet. Pretty incredible. Like in looking at it, our pocket was pretty well held up. If you watch the play, like they run little stunts, the line pick up everything. Everyone was blocked, but he knew he needed to get out of the pocket. That internal clock was running. He gets outside of the pocket, is able to put the ball up there, and good things happen when you throw the ball to Mike Williams down the field. And they're going to whine and cry that it wasn't a PI. I think the PI happened before they showed in the slow-mo because he doesn't look back for the ball and kind of just runs through Mike. I think it was kind of a little bit of a ticky-tack call. Obviously, I'll take it. But it
usually goes against us, not the other way
very
around.
much so usually goes against us, right? So I'll take it. That's just Justin, like you said, big, strong guy that can run and get out of the pocket, make plays. Throwing the ball up is better than taking that sack and sitting there. So another huge 4th down conversion, big momentum type play. All right, another 4th down. I think the whole league is put on notice now. These 4th downs, you got to look for Keenan Allen. Keenan is out here. He's playing out on the outside. They're going to run a double in. So he's going to come up, run it in. He comes up and runs right behind it. Again, they're in man coverage. This poor guy just has no chance against Keenan. You'll see again, he just creates a yard or two of separation. And then it's just like right there, right on the line. He has the separation. That poor guy has no chance. It's just right when this route starts, you see him put a little move on. And he's already got 2 yards of separation right there. Boom. He's gone. He's already inside leverage. There's nothing that guy's going to be able to do. It's just too easy when they're in that press man coverage for him to be able to get enough separation to be able to make a play. So I don't know. It's just that first 4th down, that was the balls. That was just, that was us having a perfect play. And we had the nuts to actually call it. Those other ones are our players just being better than their players for the most part. But 4th downs were just, that was the story of the game. That's how we won the game this week, was that 3rd quarter drive with those 2 4th down conversions.
Well, it is pretty magical how many 4th downs we are able to convert. And I mean, honestly, like the only 4th down that we didn't convert was that one trick play where it was going to be a punt and he ended up throwing the ball. Yeah. Other than that, like when it's in Justin's hands, we've grown accustomed to knowing that he's just going to make that 4th down
confidence.
play.
You just feel confident that something good's going to happen.
Exactly.
It doesn't make it any less scary though. Like
it's still scary.
It's getting easier for me just a little bit each time we do it. Like
hurts every time.
His confidence is getting stronger, and my worry is a little less each time.
Right.
Like, how is he going to do it this time, guys? Let's check it out.
Right. It's more like jumping out of a plane with or without a parachute. When you have the parachute, you're like, this is scary, but I have confidence that we've got this. So, awesome, Coach. Thanks for taking a look at some of these amazing fourth down plays and just how crazy detailed they go.
Yeah. You still suck.
All right, folks. Well, now it's time to go on to Fan Focus. Let's see who we got this week, shall we?
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we're super pumped to have Michael Perez. What is going on, Michael?
I'm good, man. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing good. And I was just admiring the jersey collection behind you. That is choice jerseys behind you, my man.
Yeah, the best way I can decorate my dining room here to charge it up,
I'll charge it up. I love it. So, all right, man, well, let's find out more about you. How did you become a Charger fan?
Well, growing up in Southern California, my family had roots in San Diego and then the Inland Empire, which is about 50 miles east of LA. And of course, back then we had the Raiders, Rams, and the Chargers. And I didn't specifically have a team. I was more of a fan of the players. Marcus Allen was one of my favorite players. Dan Marino was one of my favorite players. Sure. So I kind of followed their careers. And then one Sunday when the season started in '94, my family would get together on Sundays to watch football and play some street ball. Yeah. And we had a radio sitting on the curb. And that was the Broncos Charger game where Sale would pick off Elway to seal the deal at the last drive of the game. And I remember we stopped playing and we listened for like the last 5 minutes of the game. At that moment, I thought to myself, man, who is this team and why am I not rooting for them? They're awesome.
I love it.
And of course, that would be the greatest Charger year of all time, right? They would go to the Super Bowl, and I'm thinking, man, I just picked like the choice team. and then, of course, decades of some pretty lean years, and it would test my resolve as a fan. But I'm still with it. And
what a year to get started! Holy crap, that is like perfect timing.
Right. And I remember you're listening to your instant reaction, or no, it was last week's podcast. And you guys were talking about how they won the Pittsburgh game was won. And you guys are running the street. Like, we did the exact same thing. We ran out in the street, huffing and hollering, we're going to Super Bowl.
Dude, lost our minds. I want to experience that again. I was like 10 years old when that happened. I'd love to experience that at 37. That would be fantastic.
Right. It was just that electric feeling when I heard that game. And I thought, man, these Chargers are awesome. And their uniforms, the white lightning bolt on the pants and the helmet, where they had the navy blue. Yeah. I was just like, why have I never followed this team?
Yeah.
So, since then, Charger for life, man.
Well, and it's, things are turning around for us, man. Like, let's talk about this most recent game against the Cleveland Browns. And it's just the roller coaster we went on and the high scoring and Herbert being the man and Staley's balls are massive and all the crazy stuff that happened last game. What was it like for you watching that game?
Well, first off, I want to say that both fans showed up for this game. At least in my section, Monday it was 75-25 Raiders to Chargers. Totally reversed this time around. Nice. There's just nothing but Bolt fans everywhere, and it made the game fired up. But I was, being a fan for so long, I was nervous, and I was in the whole thinking of, okay, let's wait and see. Kind of like Kyle said when they were going for 4 instead of the field goal. I was thinking to myself, "What the hell are you doing?
I know, right?
Points. This is not messing me around." But I was proven wrong, and I was telling people around me like, "My bad call." I got to get used to how this offense and how this whole coaching staff approaches games, because it's so much more exciting and keeps you at the edge of your seat. And the place was just rocking. It was so awesome just to see this, fight going on like a boxing match. They score, we score, we come. Oh man, it was an awesome game.
And it's like, you have these games you go to that like leave a stamp. It feels like if you were at that game experiencing that, like that's like one of those like stamp games that you'll remember for a long time.
Exactly. It felt just like that. I'm so thrilled that I was there, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see what the next games are going to be. Patriots, the Vikings. I can't wait for these games to happen. It's just like, I hope they're just as awesome.
I know. Yeah, being a season ticket holder is so much fun, and like having the ability to kind of like just be around other Charger fans, because I live out in the middle of Missouri, so it's hard for me to get around other Charger fans. But like, man, our community is getting really awesome. What have you noticed from like some of the fan interactions and like being at the game? Like, what's the Charger, the Bolt fam vibe like?
Oh, everyone's so friendly. I saw Fernando that you guys had last week, and
sweet.
I saw Adam. I said hi to Adam over there at the Senior Snappy's tent. but it's neat to see people like that and know a lot of these people you guys feature in the tailgates and the organizations and interact with them now. Like I said, I don't do social media too well, but my wife now follows them on Instagram and stuff. So she's always pointing out, oh, so-and-so are having drinks over here. Let's go hang out and talk. And yeah, it's just such a good family environment and such a good vibe to pumped up with, thousands of other Charger fans. Yeah. And we're all sharing the same excitement. It's the same experience of what a great season, we're having right now.
Yeah, 4-1 feels real nice. Feels real nice.
I thought I was going to be happy with 3-3. To me, that was going to be heaven, the end of set. But I can't believe it's 4-1.
Dude, we're legitimately looking at 5-1 before the bye. So this is an exciting year to be a Charger fan. And like from when we talked before we got started, you said you had something exciting you might want to share with us.
Let me try to keep this short, but with COVID in the past few years, as tragic and as hard it was for a lot of people, there was a few benefits that happened. I got to go on some chat rooms and meet a lot of people I would never met before.
Sure.
So one of the Zoom groups I met with had a guy there that noticed my Charger hat one night, and he's like, "Yeah, I kind of a contractor for the organization, and I work for the soccer team and the Chargers back at the StubHub." And I'm like, "Wow, that's cool. That's really awesome." So I got the opportunity to meet him when the restrictions lit up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, stick around. I got something for you. You might appreciate it." So I said, all right, whatever. So he comes back and he hands me this. And he says, "Do you know what this is?" And I said, "No, I don't get it." And he goes, "Well, one of the duties I have is I handle the cannon for the Charger games." And he goes, "When we had to retrofit the new logo on the cannon, I got to keep one of the two pieces." And he goes, "I think you would appreciate it."
Oh,
and man, God. It was like Christmas morning. I lit up with a grin. I was texting my brothers and family, "Oh my God, look what the hell I got." And it's really cool because you can actually see the marks on the wheels on the backside, on the wooden wheels and everything. And I was totally stoked. I actually got to meet him again on the Raider game. He came up to my seat to say hi because he does all of the pregame tunnel special effects and things.
Oh,
but
cool.
Yeah, I thought you guys would get a kick out of the
yeah, dude, that's gorgeous. That's like the first bolt on the new bolt on the cannon. That's like legit. Keep that somewhere safe.
Yeah. So one of these days when I get a space on the wall, it's going to go up with in honor, with the photograph, and people can pay homage when they come over.
Yeah, it's just like kiss it. It's just. Oh, that's so cool, man. Yeah, it's just how random. Cool. You just met some guy on a Zoom, and he just happened to be running the cannon for the Chargers.
How
rad.
Crazy is that, right? And that just happened to be so lucky, and I try to share that story with fans I know because they get a kick out of it. And,
that's awesome.
Wow,
I know, it's rad. So, all right, well, let's get you out of here on this. We have Baltimore Ravens coming up. We were talking about it. We could go 5-1. What do you think we need to do to go 5-1 against these Ravens?
Well, I like to think that if the defense could play like we did in Mahomes and try to contain Lamar Jackson, as he's going to get his plays. But if we can contain his run, I think we'll do a lot better than we did this past week because we're not going to be facing that two-headed running assault.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be able to hopefully lock them down pretty good. I'm pretty confident we could probably pull the win out.
Awesome, man. Yeah, can't wait for this game. I'm so excited. Cloud 9 right now. So, and hopefully we can meet up. I'm going to be at the Vikings game, so maybe we can meet up at Thunder Alley and then say hi.
We'll say hi. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was great having you, Michael. And we'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Okay, love you, bye, man.
Okay, love you, bye.
Know that guy?
Michael.
I know that guy.
Nice. What a stud.
That's so
sick.
Dude, how cool to have a piece of a physical thing of Chargers history.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mike Modlin's losing his mind right now if he's listening to this podcast. I hope he's got us a little something about the cannon, little history on the cannon. Fun. That would be pretty sweet to add. Mike Modlin just dropping a little something for you, maybe something to look at. But oh man, Michael, that was so damn cool. That was what great stories, man. Again, just love these fan focuses and how they connect us all together. This beautiful umbrella that is the Chargers. This beautiful Bolt umbrella. He's an
awesome guy. It's it's just cool. You met him, and we're meeting all these guys now. So
that's
super rad.
The best thing out of all of this is actually getting able to get face to face with people, shake hands, talk, and chat with these other people. That because I'm sick and tired of talking to you guys. I need to spread my wings and talk to other people.
For reals.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's now time to go on to our next segment. We've got some killer wins now, and every time we've been winning, he's been bringing the heat. Let's see if he brings it this week. It's time for the Greg Experience.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Greg Experience.
hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
You'll never find a big brass set like mine. New Brandon Staley theme song, ladies and gents. CC Gang. Salute to the rest of Boltfam. What it do? It's your guy Craig in Texas, coming to you with another winning edition of the Craig Experience. Ah, yes, victory tastes so sweet. Soak it in, folks. Tell you what, that was crazy. Even crazier, the fact that I was driving while watching the game at the same time, and pardon the energy levels and the tone of my voice, I went to a concert last night, and I'm operating off of about 3 hours of sleep. So I'm driving a struggle bus, but I'm going to get it done for y'all. Imagine doing 80 with that roller coaster of emotions going on. Wasn't the safest thing for me to do, but I made it in one piece. And just in time, when I got to my destination and parked for that last Hail Mary attempt to watch the ball get basically harmlessly fall down to the turf, and us, basically, essentially being able to do another victory lap, go out there in that formation, take a knee, and roll out with another dub in SoFi, which was heavily populated with Charger fans as opposed to Browns fans. I know that's not going to be a big story because that's not what the media likes to see or say. But we're past that. Just like this week, the story will probably be about like Baker Mayfield and all that he didn't do, and less about what the Chargers did. But I digress. Who cares? We'll just keep taking the W's. Screw what y'all think. So let's just go right ahead and get into it. Areas of opportunity, because we want to knock these out really quickly because there's so much good to talk about that we're not about to overshadow it or bring it down with a whole bunch of the negative stuff. It just is what it is. It's the truth. So we got to talk about it. The defense wasn't great at all. It looked like it took a step back. We knew what the Browns were about. They were going to come down and, punch the ball down our throats because technically we don't have the horses in the interior defensive line to withstand a decent offensive line with good running game. We've seen that already. What was surprising, though, was the pass defense. I did not see that coming. Baker had all day long to get the ball off. There wasn't a ton of pressure. There were instances where I saw the Browns triple teaming Joey, and no one else was getting home. Got to clean that up. I'm sure they will. I wouldn't be shocked to see some moves made for maybe some interior defensive line help as the season progresses, especially if they keep racking up wins like this. They're going to want to strengthen the team to make a real serious run here into the playoffs as we get to that point. But, outside of that, kicking game. I'm tired of talking about kickers. Let's be honest. A lot of some of these fourth down attempts, specifically in field goal range, not only have a lot to do with Staley's just huge gonads, but also the fact that there's no trust in the kicking game. And why should there be? There was 2 missed extra points yesterday, so gotta get that figured out. Just even moving on from that, let's get into the fun stuff. The offense. I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that they were moving the ball up and down the field, when we were down 14 points, I remember saying out loud, we're still going to find a way to win this game. And I genuinely believed it. It's the Brandon Staley effect. He's made us all believers, especially me. Of course, we know in seasons past, this is a game we lose. And we've been saying that often now. Like, we're not losing those games. This was a shootout. And it did seem like whoever had the ball last was going to win. And at no point was I really, really afraid. And that's saying a lot because, coming from, particularly a jaded Chargers fan here in the past, and it takes a lot to move the needle for me. And BSB is doing it. Justin Herbert, man, what else is left to say about the dude? Just put the cape on him. He's our savior. He's doing it week in and week out. And at a historic pace. It's really crazy. He even bought out Rose Bowl Jay Herbo yesterday. And you see that 6'6", 240-pound gliding gazelle out there. I think he matched his rushing total for the year just in yesterday's game. So awesome to see. It's an added element. Donald Parham, my whole, prediction about him becoming a bigger part of the offense looks like it's coming to fruition as the weeks go by. Scored the first 7 points in the Raiders game. Same thing this week. Just keeping it moving. Mike Will, pay that man. We can't let him leave. Got to pay him. And I'm perfectly fine with it. He's now wide receiver 1. And that's freaking crazy to say when the other option in your wide receiving core is Keenan Allen. But it is what it is. The more the merrier. More weapons we got, the better we are. Give Justin all he needs. Just keep it pushing. Austin Eckler, man, I salute you. Battling back after that fumble, show some real resolve, man. We know in the past, under Anthony Lynn, putting the ball on the carpet typically meant you were going into the doghouse. Staley showed his faith in Eckler, kept putting the ball in his hands and paid dividends. Dude still got into the end zone a few times, and the difference in the game, still just making plays every week, week in and week out. Just an amazing key cog in the offense. And honestly, the offense is evolving weekly. The playbook is opening up. You can see the growth. Formations, plays being utilized that weren't earlier on, you can just kind of see it developing as they go along. And the more you can put on Herbert's plate every week, the more you have to make defenses, go out and have to be accountable for, the easier life is for everyone on that side of the ball. And you also got to give Lombardi his just due, man. He seems sometimes like he gets bogged down in play calling, and then he just does something amazing to make it up. So no complaints whatsoever. It's just the evolution of it is super duper awesome to behold. And Snapple fact. Some of y'all might know this already, but apparently before Sunday, teams were 463-0 when scoring 40 points and having 0 turnovers. Not anymore. Anywho, we kind of talked about like special teams and everything. Oh, yeah, let me give a shout out to Mr. Hill, KJ. You're still not my favorite. Still don't love you back there, but you had a really, really clutch punt return to start off that last possession. Awesome on you coming through. That's all I got. Not going to overdo it. Hey, you know what's really tremendous about this? It's the refusal to charger now. Honestly, I think that term is being altered to mean something totally different. By season's end, charging is going to take on a whole new meaning. It's probably going to mean going forward on 4th down and converting it almost all the time, because I think the only missed 4th down conversion the team has right now was that fake punt versus the Raiders. Don't quote me on that. Fact check me. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is currently right now. But you know what else is awesome? Really quickly, the rest of the AFC West. You know why? Broncos, Chiefs. You know what you need to do is come on down to the AFC West cellar. Because that's where y'all are right now. Hang out down there for a bit. I don't think there's a whole lot you can do about it for a hot minute. You got an uphill climb, and I don't care. Giving my best friend a lot of gripe about it, and some of these flags that mysteriously popped up in my neighborhood and the surrounding areas don't seem to be flying as high today. Gotta love it. Also, the Raiders. Y'all getting smoked by the Bears? Did we cause a malfunction? Possibly. Looks like it. Whatever. Yeah. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But hey, got another big one coming up. Baltimore, another strong running team. If we can get to the bye at 5-1, we cooking. We're cooking. And we can talk about the outlook for the rest of the season moving on from there. Fellas, tell me a little bit about what you think about whether or not the way that the Chargers are winning games currently is sustainable. Sorry, got tongue-tied there for a second. Keep in mind, I'm still functioning, operating off of 3 hours of sleep, taking a nap after this. Do you think they can keep winning this way on the edge? I mean, it's worked out so far for the most part, but you can only play with fire but for so long. What improvements do you think have to be made, can't be avoided in order for this team to continue to be a legit contender? That's going to be it for me, though. You guys know what to do. Holla at me the rest of the week on Twitter as TOP_FLYT3, somewhere around there. On the Twitter machine, we'll chop it up. Whatever you want to talk about Charger-wise. If you want to troll Raiders fans, I'm always up for that too. So yeah. But you know what it is. Bowl gang or do not bang. Catch y'all later. Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh,
Craig,
yeah.
you trying to steal some of my voice acting work there? You think I lose my voice and all of a sudden you slide in as now the third Charger chat guy? You think you're just gonna steal my job? No, dude, that was awesome. That was so damn funny.
Cellar dwellers.
Come on,
That's really good. I
also
I love the point of Austin Eckler, right?
Yes.
I do think that last year with Coach Lynn, if he had fumbled, that guy put you on the
He
shit
might have
list
got
if you
pulled.
fumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done. Our coach Staley's like, nah, that's not it. You're a great football player. You made a mistake. Go make up for it.
Right.
You know, like that's what you always get. That's what you always coach kids. Like, you made a mistake. Stuff happens. Go make up for it and go make a big play to redeem yourself.
Exactly.
Totally. And that's
it's
what
not
Austin
about
did.
it's about how you respond.
Right.
The thing that I loved about what he said too is when he was talking about being down, he's like, no, I believe that they're going to win. And I think it was that key word of believe. Hearing that made me think, like, in the past, it's hope. I hope we win. I hope we can make this happen. I hope we can convert this fourth down. It has changed now from hope to believe. I believe he's going to do this. I believe we're going to win. And it's a slightly different connotation, but it just has a totally different meaning. And I think it's 100% what is happening this season. We have gone from hope to believe. And I love it. It's such a great feeling. As far as what it is that we need to fix or correct to ensure that we can continue to win, in my opinion, I think it's the kicking game. We can't be losing points, especially these extra points, these gimme points. These are the ones that, like, you have to make this. You have to make this. This isn't, I'm not asking you to kick from 50, 60 yards out. I'm asking
extra points.
I'm asking for one more point.
Yeah.
You got to get us that.
It's so weird too, because he just, like, it feels like it's a mental thing almost for Vizcaino now, because he's pulling kicks to the point where they're almost not hitting the net. Like, they're so missed.
Right.
So it's a cause for concern. Like, you give him a certain amount of leeway, but then you're like, gotta really look at this. Like, we can't keep going crazy and having to go for 2 on everything. But the one thing I would say that just one player that I noticed, that if he makes a couple more tackles, you erase 2 touchdowns off that board, and that's Adderley. Adderley tried to jump a play and make a pick, and he got caught and scored a touchdown. Same thing with the Njoku touchdown. Like, there's no reason he should have ran 60 or whatever yards it was for a touchdown. It was just bad tackling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was a really bizarre game in the sense that I think their offensive line, probably one of the better ones we've seen. Like, I haven't seen an offensive line get to our second level and get on our linebackers quite as quickly as that team did. And then we just weren't, our team is all about shooting the gaps, having the backup guys come in and stop those running backs. And they just weren't making tackles. It just wasn't happening. So I think that's the simple answer that, hopefully this is just a fluke. Because up till this game, we were allowing 20 points a game, right? This is, I feel like, a weird little outlier that we just ran into. We just ran into a really good team and we had to duke it out. It's like Coach said, like, you know, you got these games are all going to be different. You just got to find ways to win. So we found a way to win.
Absolutely. Any different opinions there, Coach?
No, I agree. I think it's just special teams needs to get better. It was not very good at all on Sunday. We started the ball at the 15, it felt like, on every single time they kicked off. And every time we kicked off, they started at the 30.
Right.
It was like 15 yards worth of difference in starting field position, which you can't have. So I don't know what that. We obviously didn't punt very much. They didn't punt very much. So
like
it was mostly just kickoffs and PATs. But
right.
Both of those areas we did not do a very good job, and we were very mediocre.
We just finished checking out the game against the Colts and the Ravens, and I think the Ravens got a blocked kick there. So that's cause for concern if they're going to be that aggressive against our special teams. But we will wait to see next week. Craig, thank you again for popping on, man. Always love to get your insight and in your witty words of wisdom, and you pump the brakes on those voices, man. All right, we already got one on this podcast. Okay, don't take this from me, please. All right, folks. Well, now it's time to go on to the longest section there is on the Charger Chat podcast. It's Ask Boltfam. Here we go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
All right, folks. We start off Ask Boltfam with an old favorite of ours, Blonded Surfer.
Yeah.
Who asked the question? Blonded Surfer gave me the choice of picking whatever voice I want, and I think this one I'm just going to give straight because the sentiment is just too good. I've been a fan of the Chargers since I was 10. I'm now 24, and after 14 years in the making, I finally attended my first game ever versus Cleveland. Seeing my team playing in fucking person when I've only ever watched them play on TV was so fucking surreal. It felt like a dream the entire 4 quarters. In fact, I'm convinced it was. The atmosphere, the people, the emotions ran through my head at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Numerous times I just sat in my seat and thought to myself, God, this is nothing short of beautiful. I love life, I love my team, and I love this community. No lie, I wanted to cry at points. LMAO, but hey, I'm right there with you, buddy. Anyway, today was special. We clearly have so many fans, and all of them were the friendliest, most chill people you could be around. This was a moment I will forever appreciate. Bolt the up responsibly. What Staley's doing here is special. Whatever happens this season, let's appreciate it, for this will be the season everything changed. Okay, love you, bye.
Ooh, you were making me run through wall, Blonded Surfer. Oh my God.
Yeah, hitting the feels there right off the bat.
I love it, dude.
I wanted to get that out there first because that was just such a cool.
It's such a different experience of being at a physical game and watching it on TV.
Different.
It's just a different thing. And if you haven't had a chance to go to a game yet, you gotta go. This is the time to go.
This
team, this coach, it's just the time to go. And I love everything you said. You know, I get overwhelmed by this team all the time. So I'm glad you had an awesome time, Blonded Surfer.
I will say we do have the best fans.
We really do.
It seems like every team that we play, the fans are always fighting each other. I just saw the Chiefs like fans, one of their like big notorious fans got like knocked out by another Chiefs fan. They fought each other and like he just knocked them out and rolled down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoa. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The Chiefs are falling apart. They don't know how to be 2 and 3.
They're
losing it. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Blonded Surfer, dude, I feel you, buddy. I'm so glad you got to go to that game, and and
that's a good first one to go to.
Yeah, hopefully you get to go to more, buddy. Hopefully you get to go to more. Let's move it on now to Mark Busnelli Jr., who asked the question. I cannot recall any time in my football-loving life that I've been so excited on how our team is playing. It gives me a ringy-tingy in my dingy-dingy. I just want to make loves to this entire team. Maybe it's Staley's luscious balls or just a nip in the air. Have you guys ever been this excited for our future? Please use that horny German voice for that one red heart I forgot to add. I love you, bye.
Oh my God. Ringy tingy in my dingy dingy. Oh, dude. The excitement is all-time high right now, man. I think everyone's feeling it.
Absolutely. It's palpable. And cannot be ignored, I think is the thing. You can't just brush us under the rug and be like, yeah, the Chargers played a game, whatever.
Game,
yeah. You can't ignore how good the Chargers are playing right now because it's such a complete 180 to what it has been in the past.
And it's so interesting because I forgot to tell this, but I work with 2 Chiefs fans and we sit in one area and we edit and we do our work. And the energy at that table
keep going
was,
tell me more,
especially sweet because I didn't want to say anything to them. They didn't want to say anything to me. It took about an hour before any eye contact was made. And then I could tell they weren't like mad at me. They were just frustrated at how good we are now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like even these opposing fans are concerned with our enthusiasm and happiness because we're legitimate now. And it is a different feeling walking into a room and Chiefs fans not being like, oh, give me all the praise. We have Patrick Mahomes. That shit's done.
Get out of here.
Level playing field, man. We might take some, we might lose some to you guys, but this is a level playing field now.
Absolutely. We are too legit to quit. Thank you.
Too legit to quit.
Hey. Thank you, Mark Busnelli Jr. for asking the question. We move on now to Justin Sabercool, who asked the question.
Holy shit, what an awesome game. What was your favorite play from the game? Keep up the great work, guys. I appreciate and especially thank you, Adam, for taking a quick photo with me today. I appreciate it. K, love you, bye.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin, dude. I think that was a pretty good photo. I think if I recall correctly, that was a pretty good photo.
It's good looking dudes in that picture.
All right,
dude.
Favorite
plays.
Favorite play of the game.
My favorite play is easy. It was 4th and 2 in the third quarter when we went for it on our own 24-yard line.
Yeah,
that was just
well. Now after you explained it, that quickly became one of my favorites too.
So
for
good.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, all those Mike Williams deep balls were awesome.
Yeah.
Watching Austin get picked up into the end zone was pretty funny.
It was bizarre.
Right. Yeah, but the 4th down conversion for me was just the whole game changed.
There was something about that Jared Cook play on that last drive where it was just like, oh shit. Like, and you see the field goal line and you see him just blow past it, just fly past that field goal line. And that at that moment, I think I lost my mind the most. Like I was freaking out on all those 4th downs, but I was like, okay, this is going to happen. Like I really know this is going to happen.
Right.
So there's just so many plays, man. There's so many plays in that
so
game.
many good plays. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing Mike Williams get as open as he did
all day.
Like that was probably one of the most exciting moments for me. It was just all of us seeing it and all of us pointing and saying, there, do it there, do it. And
do it soon.
Do it. And he did it. So that was pretty awesome. Justin, awesome. Thank you, buddy, for popping by. And thanks for saying hey to me. I appreciate it. Let's move it on now to Kevin Kernick, who asked the question.
I know we gave up a load of rush yards and it sucks, but let's take a second to realize the Browns are going to pay Baker a max contract. We're going to get a lot more for our money's worth when the time comes.
Absolutely. We just talked about that.
The Browns are kind of in a weird situation. It's like you have a guy that's okay, but are you willing to pay? Because any quarterback that gets an extension, you're gonna get fat paid.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay with paying an okay quarterback big money,
right?
Or do you roll the dice and move on from him and try to find somebody that's better than okay? That's a real shitty world to be in. I'd rather be in our situation.
Absolutely.
At least
just pay the man.
At least the next couple of years where, Herbert, because you can't even negotiate a new contract with him for another year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, sign all the guys now and give him all the weapons and let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. And Baker, good luck on your further future endeavors and
love your commercials though.
Godspeed. Yes.
Commercials are funny.
Commercials are great.
Yeah. At least you have a place to stay at the stadium. You can live there and
your play's okay.
Yeah.
Your commercials are pretty good.
Awesome. Kevin, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Lexi McWilliams, who asked the question.
I think I'm late, but Gruden is gone.
So no more Gruden grinders. I think that sounds like we can hold on to the division pretty solidly now. Not really a question, just an excuse to say, fuck the Raiders. Lexi asked for the Elsa from Frozen, as if my voice has any reflection
especially
of
after
Elsa.
a week
really
of
good.
yelling.
And after screaming my back.
Yeah,
Are you trolling me, Lexi? Are you trolling
Kathleen Turner as Elsa?
Okay, and we didn't get to talk about this, but this happened just before we got on. Gruden, no more, the coach.
I don't know if I'm
Raiders.
like excited about that. He sucks. Like, he's a bad coach. I wasn't mad about him being the coach of the Raiders.
Right.
Because he's not good.
If we learned anything from this, is don't be a racist asshole and say awful things about people. Just don't do it and you'll be okay. But
how
he did
fitting
it and now
is
he's
it,
fucking
how
out.
fitting is it that the Raiders coach is that guy? You know what I mean? Like, of course, the guy that is just a scum of the earth is the Raiders head coach.
Is the Raiders head coach.
It's so fitting. I'm surprised they fired him, to be honest. They should have been like, this is our brand. Of
I
course.
gotta give him a raise.
Right. For the brand.
Yeah. But I saw, it's crazy. I thought right when this happened, I was like, oh, I wonder if Gus Bradley's going to get a shot as like
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Interim head guy, but they already announced that Rich Bisaccia. Bisaccia? I don't know. How
Sounds like
he's the special teams
like a
coach.
pastry.
Oh,
yeah. It's the pastry.
He's the special teams coach. He has less experience in the NFL than Gus. No head coaching experience, which Gus has. So I'm shocked. Maybe Gus like turned it down. But yeah, the Raiders
can't wait to get out of here. This place sucks.
Raiders are in shambles right now. They're not gonna. This
place sucks.
No, and I love that. I'm seeing people on Twitter retweeting like all these Raider fans like saying how pissed they are at season ticket holders who sold their seats to Bears fans.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and
they got sold out.
Some guy said he's never been so embarrassed to be a Raiders fan. Like, guess what, bitch?
Just pile it on.
Get ready for all of that in Las Vegas,
it's
man.
That's
coming
what you're hard.
Have. Oh, it's all day. So
you finally. Well, here's the thing: they're finally not in Oakland. Who wants to go to Oakland? Like away teams aren't going to go to Oakland to watch a game. You put yourself San Diego or Los Angeles. That's why we get so many visiting fans.
Right.
Those are cities you actually want to go to.
Right.
Vegas.
That's a tourist destination. Yeah.
Every single opposing team they're going to circle that game on their calendar. Like that's the one we're going to go to.
Right.
So you're finally like getting a taste of what we live in constantly.
Exactly.
So now you're going to tell me that the Raiders don't have any fans? No, they have fans. It's just opposing teams want to go to Vegas. Like they want to go to our cities. So yeah, it's just you finally get a taste. We have a lot of Charger fans. This just happens when your team's in a cool city.
Exactly.
Facts.
So suck it, Raiders.
So suck it, Raiders.
Moral story, suck it.
Enjoy your special teams interim head coach. I'm sure that'll take you all the way.
Special teams interim head coach. That's title. That's the
title. Let's move it on now to Bolt Dude 8407, who asked the question.
Yeah. Good old Western shootout at SoFi goes to Herbie and them Bolts. Staley for Coach of the Year? I don't know about you guys, but I have all the faith in the world in this offense to always put up points when needed. Bolt up.
I think Staley has to be the number one candidate for Coach of the Year. So
has to be.
There's hands down. He has to be. All the decisions that he's made, all the fourth down stuff, the games that we've won already, like big signature wins against big teams already. He goes into Arrowhead his first time ever and gets a W at Kansas City. So it's like, yeah, he has to be the favorite. Now we're 5 weeks in. It's not a done deal, but he has to be the favorite right now for sure.
Just go if you want for the people voting on this, go watch All In, and
easily,
you're fine.
Yeah.
You're good. You'll know who to vote for.
Easy campaign. Yeah, if for a coach that's playing as aggressive as he is, but not reckless, aggressive and succeeding, how could you not? How could you not? And as inspiring as he is as well.
Yeah. Certified fresh.
Certified fresh.
Super delayed.
Tail end slate. Certified fresh.
Flip it around.
All right. Thank you, Bolt Dude 8407. We move on now to Rat Human.
Yeah.
Who asked the question?
Dudes. Ooh, Will this Gator be replaced this week? Hey, Gay, love you. Bye.
I think what Kyle's just said earlier about how Staley treats his players, he's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen this week.
No.
Am I getting more and more frustrated by his lack of consistency? Yes, but I don't. I think that sends a message to your team when you do that. If you're struggling, you're out. So I don't think that's his style. Everything he's done up to this point.
Right.
So am I ready to find somebody? I'm getting there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if there's anything that we've learned in this offseason is that we don't know what the hell we would do as GMs because there's a lot of choices that I would have made that we didn't make. And I'm really glad that we didn't know.
Exactly.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm not the guy. As a fan, this Gano is kind of getting on my last nerve, but I don't think that he's going to be out. In all honesty, I just hate kickers. I just don't like kickers at all. Just none of them. They're just all they can do is blow it. It's like in my mind, that's all they can do. So
even John Carney,
positive. I think Vizcaino's going to come
like
back.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about John Carney?
Oh, sweet John Carney. You're right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sweet John Carney.
There's a small exclusive club. Yes.
Those are the kickers of the past.
Okay.
Like the new age
of
kickers.
The current brand. Sure. Okay.
Nothing.
Fair enough.
Did one of you guys send me that video where it was Ty Long on the bench with Vizcaino and he was like, don't blow this?
No, I think he was motivating him, dude.
He's like, don't miss this opportunity. It was something like that.
Yeah, Ty Long tweeted about it afterwards. He's like, I wasn't yelling at him. I was trying to encourage him to get back out there and be confident
this
and go.
Opportunity.
Because when they were sitting on the bench having that conversation, that was when we were going down to try to win. He's like, you're going to get another shot. Like, you got to go win this game. Don't get in your head. Go make a kick and redeem yourself.
Right.
So he'll have opportunities. As fans, all we can do is support him, and hopefully he gets his act together next week.
Fingers are crossed. Rat Human, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to JDM2118, who asked the question. Hey, what's up, putos? What the fucking game, huh? First things first, Kevin, I am brown and Latino. Same shit, so the Cholo voice is good, Holmes. And secondly, Wooly, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, not just Mexican, because we brown, we ain't all Mexican, Holmes. Bro, was there a lot of Charger fans in the stadium? Look like it on TV, bro. 47 points, my man. Herbert is a certified gangster. Defense needs needs some help stopping the run. Anyways, I love this podcast, boys. Coach, let's get you out of the red and get you some fucking cash from this pod. Start selling weed or some shit, you know? Can't love you. Bye, puto. Stay strong, stay positive, and stay brown, homies. Dude.
That was awesome. That was so good.
Let's get you out of the red, coach.
Let's get you out.
I live in the red.
That's right. Boy. These Ask Boltfams, when you guys write a script like that,
so funny.
It makes this so much more fun. I can't express it. There was I think the ratio Charger to Cleveland fans, like Cleveland, obviously there were fans there, couldn't ignore that because they did. Oh God, every time these guys made a play, it was just it's just like, stop it, all right? Stop it, knock it off. You look silly. This is like Arsenio Hall 80s days. Like, get with the times. It's 2021, you pieces of shit. Anyways, there were a lot of Charger fans. I think hearing the crowd get loud when Chargers were on defense was really inspiring. That was the time that you knew that we did come to play and we did show up. So that was pretty sweet. And yeah, Herbert is a certified gangster, bro. You'd love to see it. So hey, JDM2118, thank you for asking the question.
That's so good.
Let's move it on now to Tyler Foster, the Fofster, who asked the question. Yeah, baby! How about those Bolts? These are some damn good wins we're putting together here for this difficult schedule to start the season. Baby! Herbert making things happen with his legs to keep drives alive had a huge impact on this game. Baby! Can we expect more Herbie runs? Baby! I'd love that, personally.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to see
him.
I don't think you're going to see any designed runs. That's not what you're seeing. You're seeing scrambles. I think he'll scramble when he can and when the time comes, but I don't want to see any Joe Burrow lacerated throats like
contusion.
Throat contusions. He got
that was crazy. That was so rough.
That's not what I want to see. I don't know. Him running the ball is not that important. When the time arises and it's open and he can do it, obviously he's a big, strong guy that can make it happen. But I don't foresee any Lamar Jackson design runs for Justin Herbert.
But him just having that option and being able to make those calculated decisions on whether or not he can do it safely, I think is awesome. Whenever I see him do it, it 100%. Just makes me happy.
Like one of the first Charger quarterbacks that's mobile. So it's like we're like
for
trying
real,
to figure out what this all means and how it works.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Phil was a great runner.
He was. I did love his first down.
Was always
they were earned.
They were always
when
earned.
Those came once a year, man. They were fun to watch.
They were
that baby giraffe just flying down the field.
Baby giraffe. Love you, Phil.
Tyler, dude, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Jace, aka Fantastic Jace,
certified fresh,
who asked the question.
Chargers playing Madden out there. 4th and 2 on their own 25 down points. Who does that? Or have we just accepted the fact that we will never have a good kicker enough to depend on?
I don't know that it's based on the kicker.
Kicker, yeah. Like as Kyle said in coach's corner, momentum changer, the game changer. It's having confidence in our offense. So
yes,
I wouldn't say that's like the main reason why it's happening. I think going for 2. Some of these things, maybe not the 4th down, but going for 2 is something that they're having to do because of missed kicks. But the 4th down is just balls.
And 4th and 2 on our own 25 has nothing to do with our kicker. I mean, I guess Ty Long's a captain. He's our punter. There's nothing wrong with Ty Long.
He's fully capable, yeah.
4th and 2 on your own 25 is just a big pair of cojones. Then we want to go win the game and not lose it.
Yeah.
Totally.
So there you go, Jace. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to House of Hain, who asked the question. Breaking news. The Chargers are not attending the Pro Bowl this year. They will instead be at the Super Bowl. That is all. K love you bye. #Brassbawlz to the big, too big to fit on the plane, needs 3 seats. 1 for him, 2 for the big boys. The Raiders, Donkeys, Kansas City. P.S. I'll be at the Ravens game.
Yes. Awesome. 3 seats.
Yes.
1 ball each seat. And then hopefully it's one of those planes with 3
flight.
across.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to have some issues with the flight attendant.
Taking let me just get my big leg over this. Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
So in the way. Would you like a Diet Coke?
Yes. Would you like
Peanuts?
the beef or the fish?
Peanuts?
There you go. House of Hain. Thank you,
man.
Thanks for making the
go
making
represent
the,
the game. That's awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait. We'll be looking for you in Baltimore, my man. Let's move it on now to Salty Sports Guy, who asked the question.
Hey, boo-boo. What a fucking game, huh? The Bolts have done such a good job of limiting these high-power offenses to season-low PPG. Hey, the Browns were able to almost double their average PPG. Did they do something different schematically to do that? Particularly with explosive plays. Hey.
I'll let Coach field that one. There's a lot of acronyms.
I feel like we just didn't tackle, and we were so focused on the run, which we couldn't stop anyways, that Njoku just kept getting wide open. That's the only thing I can explain is we had such an emphasis on stopping the run, couldn't do it, and I honestly don't know how that big monster of a man kept getting so wide open. And poor
tackle. It was just poor tackling, man. Yeah. That's what I saw. I didn't think the scheme was that big of a deal. Just they got up to our second level way faster and easier than they have.
Linval was the only guy on the line of scrimmage. Everyone else was back 2-3 yards. It was just not
driven
good. Yeah.
Tillery didn't really show up this game. Unfortunately, I really feel like this game is a bit of an outlier. Honestly, I really feel like it will be compared to the other teams we're going to face.
Well, we're going to see real quick here against the Ravens because they're
RPO
one of the top 5 running teams as well. So we're going to get tested again real quick.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking to see how these guys bounce back because it really was like the tackling the previous week was awesome. It's completely different than what it was this week. So I'd like to think that these guys are going to bounce back from that. But Yeah. Hey, Salty Sports Guy, thank you for showing up and asking the question. Let's move it on now to Andres Robles, who asked the question.
Hi, guys. What's going on, bros? What a fucking game. Are we done with the heartbreaking losses? Oh, moving forward, do you guys prefer to roll with JJ or JK on game day? Hashtag bolt up and fuck the Raiders. Oh.
I love your voice on this one because your voice kind of sounded like Minnie Mouse. You didn't go Mickey, you went Minnie somehow.
I went Minnie. Oh, Mickey.
That was
awesome. Mickey.
Yeah,
So
it's for those of you that have been requesting voices, I'm doing the best I can right now. I'm trying.
Proud of you. Keep it up.
All right.
Kelly looked good. He ran hard, man.
Yeah.
He was running hard. I personally, I've kind of said it a few times. I like how he's more decisive and he gets upfield.
All right.
He had some, we think of him as the fumbler last year, but if he doesn't do that and runs the way he did this last game, the few opportunities he got, I'll take that over Justin Jackson personally.
I'm a Larry Roundtree guy, to be honest. That's the guy I want to see carry the ball a little bit more. Justin Jackson. I just don't know. I don't see it. I don't see what the coaches see. When he gets the ball, it's kind of it's kind of So I don't know. I'm not really a Justin Jackson guy, but I'm supporting him. I hope he plays out of his mind the rest of the season. But if I had to pick, I would rather see Larry Roundtree or Josh Kelly with the ball.
Right. Yeah. With Jackson, it's a lot of thunder, no lightning, kind of situation. But hey, Andres Robles, thank you for asking the question. We move it on now to Okie Doggy, who asked the question.
Before I get to my questions, can I just say that the past weekend was the best weekend this year in terms of sports? Fury versus Wilder III, Oklahoma versus Texas, which resulted in Huggins' favorite QB being benched, Packers and Bengals not wanting to win the game as if these teams were the Falcons and Chargers from last year. And then the best part is watching them Los Angeles Chargers outlast those Cleveland Browns in what could be the game of the year, led by our true MVP at QB, while seeing the Chiefs' kingdom fall to ruin. Man, what a time to be alive. Anyways, my first question to you guys is, do you guys think in the limited snaps he had that Joshua Kelly takes over Justin Jackson's spot now, or do you guys think he will demoted to inactive again? Second question is whether you guys think the team within the next few weeks would find a way to address the run defense in any sort of capacity. I know that's how our defense is kind of built, but at the same time, I would like us to be able to stop the run. Okay, love you, bye, and fuck our division rivals.
I like that. It's more of a blanket.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Everybody that's not the Chargers, you.
Yeah, and it was great to see Rattler get benched because that guy sucks. So
I saw some funny memes.
Me that, and I was like, yes.
I saw some funny memes about him entering the transfer portal. Like it was a guy getting shot out of a cannon, and it's like a live look at Spencer Rattler entering the transfer portal.
Yeah, and then I watched the Fury Wilder fight. I bought it because I had to, and that was so much fun to watch. That was a lot. It was a good weekend. You were absolutely right, Okie Doggy. I think we talked about the Joshua Jackson. I think the way they look at injuries, I don't see why they would hurry him back with how Josh Kelly played this last game.
Sure, that's a good point.
I think it's probably going to be an injury thing where they'll keep an eye on him and get him back to 100%. And then, unfortunately, I think when he's 100%, he's going to come back in and Kelly's going to get deactivated. So
we'll see how they do.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
And then as far as our run defense,
you know what I would like to see a little bit, just with watching our line get pushed back like so bad. We see it a little bit on passing downs, but I want to see Joey Bosa down in that 3 technique every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Put him down on the inside or in the 4, whatever it is, and see what he can do. Let him like try something because Tillery is just not getting the job done down there on the inside. We have some edge guys that are decent with Fackrell, Uchenna. Maybe throw Bosa down inside for a couple of plays and just to mix it up and see if he can get some penetration or at least take on a double team without going back 10 yards.
Right.
I think it would be a fun little wrinkle to add in and see how it works.
Are you listening, Staley? Are you taking notes?
Don't listen to us.
No, please don't. Yeah,
you keep being used, Staley.
If you're on here listening for coaching tips, we are fucked.
We are screwed. Okie dokie. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Carl Borlingtoft.
Certified fresh.
He's got that O with the line through it.
I think he's from Denmark. I've been talking to him. He's from Denmark.
Very cool. Hey, welcome, Carl. You've got a question that goes something like this.
Is the run defense sustainable in the long run? And how can we work to improve it with our current roster? Herbert is a god, but he can't bail them out every weekend.
A god.
Herbert is a god.
He
Small
is
G
a
god.
God.
That's awesome. I'm going to outlier. I think that's my take on this 1 week. It hasn't been amazing, but we've held teams to 20 points except for this week. So I do like how Linval was getting the push. So the interior stuff is you're looking at Tillery, right? You're looking at Covington. You're looking at you wanting to upgrade those guys. I'm not sure where you go in the league to upgrade those guys.
It's a good call.
Forrest Merrill, he didn't get a lot of snaps. He got a bad penalty. Brady Fehoko, I don't know how much he played, but I still feel like they're working out how to do it. And I trust Staley. So whatever he thinks is the best way to go about it, that's what I'm all about.
Another fun potential is to have when you get Kenneth Murray back, put Kenneth on the edge.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Bump Joey down. Like let him play down there a little bit. I know it's not where he wants to play. That's not where he's gonna have the biggest impact, but on certain obvious run play type stuff.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of the times ends, you can just run away from them. Those edge guys, just don't run at them, and then they can't make a play.
Mm-hmm.
But if you toss him on the inside, he could disrupt stuff. Even just how fast he is, being able to move around guys. So I don't know. We have a lot of pieces. There's a lot to experiment with and try new things. It's just finding the right puzzle, like the way it all fits together.
Mm-hmm.
I have full faith that Staley will figure it out. And if not, we're still 4-1. So even if they run for 300 yards a game, we still win. And that's what I care about.
Still find a way to win because we believe.
We believe.
Carl, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Abdul, who asked the question.
I hate to be the one who brings the bad stats, but Chargers has the worst rushing defense in the league after 5 weeks. How can Staley's defense adjust that? And do you think it will hurt the team on the run to the playoff / conference title? Best sports show on YouTube.
Abdul, thank you.
What a sweet
That's
a nice thing.
So sweet of you.
That's a nice thing.
Right after
you
reminding us that we have the worst rushing defense.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, man. I just think we have to start rethinking what's important. Like we get so stat focused.
Driven,
we're so worried about stats and where we rank and this and that. We're the number 1 team in the AFC right now. We're 4-1 and we're beating really good teams. So it's does that matter? Or does in the past, Gus Bradley's defense was pretty good against the run. We were always in that top 10 to 12. And we lost a lot of games. So it's what do we care about? Do we care about being ranked high in stat sheets or W's? Because we're getting W's. That I know that the defense is going to get better. Man, you have a guy that's only been here for how long, putting in a new scheme with new guys, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're still getting W's. That's what matters.
Exactly.
100%.
There you go, Abdul. Hey, thank you for asking the question.
Comment.
Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
Firstly, Big Boss Staley has to be coach of the year with the amount of improvement with this team and the amount of changing in playing style. With us still struggling against the run, what would you change to help stop it? Okay, love you, bye.
Yes,
we've kind of
Staley
talked about
coach of the year.
Yeah. Staley's definitely coach of the year. And run defense, and we've kind of talked about it. I know that's on everyone's mind. It's on mine too. I want us to be better against the run.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna have to buckle up and wait.
Right. With Staley being the wunderkind that he is and being a defense guru, I feel like he has to be aware of what the issues are and he wants to get them fixed. And I think I trust that he is working to get it fixed. And I feel like, I think if we can get through this next game and get to that bye week, I think that's going to help us really analyze what we've done this first part of the season and make a game plan for what to do in the second part.
Right.
I think we got to remember too the kind of opponents we played these first 5 weeks. There's some good run teams here.
Yeah.
And
No slouches.
It's hard to look at these rankings until you're a bit later in the season when you've had a more rounded, amount of games. Like the Cowboys are one of the best rushing teams. The Browns are the best rushing team.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're about to run into another amazing rushing team. So let's get out of here with W's and then we'll figure it out. And the one thing I will say is last year, Staley, small sample size, but started out not a great run defense with the Rams, finished number 1. So he's done that before. So let's give him time. Let him figure out how he wants to do it. I'm not ready to hop on the bat phone and start calling some, CFL players. I think we figured it out. I think Coach figured it out.
Yeah, I 100%. Gavin, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the Chargers nerd, Daniel, who asked the question. If you're TT, how high a draft pick are you willing to part with for an upgrade on interior defensive line? My guess, the Chargers know they don't have the personnel, but they will to sit tight and fix it in the draft. Even if the hot start makes this more of a win now year than it originally was.
I think every year is a win now with Herbert's rookie contract.
Oh yeah.
Every year that you have
100%.
your franchise quarterback on a rookie deal, it's a win now.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're gonna. I don't know. Unless there's somebody that Coach has worked with that he knows is sitting out there, and you could get him for a 5th, 6th round pick. But I don't. We don't do giving up trade capital.
It's not the Telesco way.
No, we don't give up trade capital. So I don't see anything like that happening. I think our coaches are going to try to coach up what we got and get better.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Chargers nerd, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Gozers, who asked the question. It seems like we are in a good run defense away from being a complete team. Do you think it's possible that TT will look to trade or trust that Staley can win the big game with our run defense as is?
Trust.
Gotta have faith.
The faith. Baby, give Staley a little more time. He will get the run game in a better place. Baby.
All right. Good answer.
All right. There you go.
Thanks, Gozers.
Gozers, thank you for asking the question.
And I suck at singing, so I apologize to everybody.
Well, some answers you got to sing, and that's just what happened.
Felt it in my heart.
Yeah, and you got to go with it. Let's thank you, Gozers, for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Boltology Podcast.
Oh.
Hey.
Hi. Hey there.
Who asked the question?
Oh. Hey. Oh, hey. There. What?
Stop it. 2 questions. If you're the Chargers GM, would you trade for a defensive tackle or ride out with what you have? 2, so far from what you've seen, where does this Chargers team rank with the 2006, 7, 9, and 18 Chargers?
I think we covered the D tackle thing pretty much to death. But I don't know, dude. This just feels like a different. I can't compare this to another Charger team. Like, just doesn't feel like a different Charger team. Like our previous amazing Charger teams were LT running the ball down people's throats and Phil being very serviceable.
Right.
Then when LT moved on, Phil became, airing it up 4,000 yards a season.
Right.
That changed.
Right.
We've never had this. This is new. This is a new thing that we've never really experienced. And I think it would do it disservice trying to compare it to another previous roster,
or even try to rank it, 5 games into a season.
5 games in,
I need some more time.
I need to see playoff dubs. Those teams all won playoff games, so I need to see playoff victories before you can even get into that stratosphere.
Right.
4-1 doesn't mean much. You got to win playoff, get in the playoffs, win the division, and win
that
playoff.
AFC West.
2006, 7, and 9, they were winning the AFC West. To get into that stratosphere, you got to start winning divisions.
Right. As it stands right now, though, pretty promising.
Good start.
Pretty promising.
Good start. Let's go 5-1.
Let's keep it going. But hey, Boltology Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on. And
what?
You guys, you guys should go check them out. Go
check out Boltology.
Podcast.
Get over there.
Get a little bit more Bolt action going on over there.
Out.
All right. Well, now let's move on to Jeeves. The D is silent. Who asked the question? What's this? There's lightning everywhere. What's this? Bitch ass Mahomes is now aware. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. We must be dreaming. Wake up, CCP. It's in the air. What's this? What's this? What's this? There's something very wrong. What's this? There's people singing songs. What's this? The streets are lined with Boltfam laughing. Everybody seems so happy. Have I possibly gone daffy? What is this? Jeeps, how dare you ask me to sing on a busted voice?
So good.
Now let's go back to our regularly scheduled voice. Well, this game just has me flabbergasted. This team is going to give me a heart attack. Anyway, I saw a report that Slater actually told the running backs to stop chipping because he feels more comfortable handling their rushers one-on-one. That man is a straight monster. I was all Team Tua and Team Sewell. Herbert and Slater are just proving to me that I don't know shit. So I'll just leave it to the wizard, Tom Telesco. Well, fellas, enjoy Victory Monday. And as always, bolt the fuck up. Oh, yeah. And the Raiders. Okay, love you, bye.
Oh my God, I want that song. I want that in my ringtone. Can we make that a ringtone?
Well, somebody probably. Wait, let me get my voice a little bit better so I can actually kind of hit those notes. And
I want the busted voice from the game Wooldog, so I can hear that voice. No, and it's a compliment. I just want that ringtone, Wooldog. I love your voice. I think you sound like a golden god. I want that as my ringtone when either of you two call me. That's
the only way I could ever imitate it is if I go to another game and scream my balls off. So enjoy it then if you turn that into a ringtone.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and dude, we don't know shit. We don't know. we don't know jack about shit.
Yeah, we just love the Chargers and like talking about them. We don't know nothing.
Don't know nothing. Don't listen to us. But hey, we're going to be there cheering every ding dang game. Jeebs, thank you, buddy, for showing up and asking the question.
You are anything but silent. That was a great song.
That was awesome. Well written. Let's move it on now to Nick, who asked the question. Wah, wah, wee, wah. My love for the sex is more than my love for this team. And this game was rated in Kazakh Weekly #1 most watched games in Kazakhstan all time. I like the play calling by the coach is enough to get him vagine for 100 years. I have downloaded the replay movie film and am watching the big sweaty Slater in slow motion. It's nice. The Chargers people must calm down about the kick man. Staley.
The kick man.
The kick man.
Staley believes in him. So we must believe in him, even though he gives me pulsation in the anus. On to the next. High five.
Oh my God. That was so good. The kick man.
That's the episode title. The kick man. You broke me. Thank you, Nick.
You just gave Kevin COVID with that question. He's over here dying.
I'm like sweating. I'm sweating now.
I wasn't expecting that reaction from you, Kevin. That was awesome.
Man is really funny.
I don't know why it's so funny.
The kick man.
And he said the Chargers people must calm down about the kick man. That was good.
Nick, you're the man.
Dude, yes.
Man, everyone's creative juices are flowing when they're happy about these W's.
When we get them dubs, man, we get some creative folk. Yeah, Slater's a monster, and let's all calm down about the kick man. And everybody get your copy of Kazakh Weekly, because obviously that's where you get all the good stuff at.
Get it framed.
They're big Charger supporters.
Nick, thank you for asking the question and breaking my co-host.
I hurt my neck.
All right, well, Kevin will be on the injury report, but first let's go to Z the King One, who asked the question.
Oh, what the news about Ibushi might be done for the season? What are your thoughts about what we should do with our line for the rest of the season? Best possible lineup. Hooah!
Obviously Schofield came in and played
I'm
well.
hoping Braden Hymes is going to be ready to go at some point. Like we drafted him to be able to play. So
right. It's surprising that he hasn't played yet. For what reason, we don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll trust that obviously the staff is making the right decision when it comes to who it is that they want on the
somehow
line.
Tommy T looked into that crystal ball of his and picked up Schofield 2 weeks ago out of nowhere.
And then he's pulling and blocking Myles Garrett. So good call, coach.
So I think right now that's the guy. And then you have Brandon Hyman still as the backup, and he'll be active next week. Which
they bring some Questenberry out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Throw him in a little bit.
Yeah. Something about Questenberry. There was when Chargers posted some pictures on their Instagram, Questenberry's got like Jack Nicholson eyebrows. They were like way the hay up there, and I had not seen that from Questenberry before. So, I'd like to see Questenberry get out there and make some plays as well. When
I saw he was out there once or twice. I did see him running around. I don't know if it was in like a power situation where we brought out an extra offensive lineman, but I did see him out there.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I think we're pretty good where we're at. There's still money that could be spent to do that, but I have a feeling these guys are going to make it work with what we've got. So, Z the King 1, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Rivers Me Timber. Who asked the question?
I think I've heard this name before.
I don't know that I have. Rivers Me Timber?
Certified Fresh.
Okay. Who asked the question?
Wow, Bolt dudes, that game was most excellent. Herbie balled out and is a rock star. And the rest of the division lost, which is even more excellent. Seeing the Bolts in first place and the Chiefs in last is definitely heavy metal, dudes. Strange things are afoot in the AFC West, and it is most awesome. On a more bogus note, with Ibushi suffering a most heinous injury, do you think the Chargers would make a most excellent trade for some O-line help? Or do we keep rolling with the guys we have on this most excellent adventure? Either way, remember to stay excellent to each other and party on, dudes, except the Chiefs. Fuck them. Okay, love you. Bye.
We haven't had Bill and Ted yet. That was a really good request.
That was awesome. That was that's a new one. It's in that surfer category, but just a little bit more
We get to
airheady.
use heinous. So you don't ever get to use
Can't
the word
say heinous, bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah, I think I think we talked about it the last question. I think we stick with what we got. I think there's some talent there.
I just don't even know who we would go after, to be honest.
I know, right? There's not a big name floating around out there
right
now. So
the one thing I wouldn't mind doing is getting rid of Pipkins and bringing in somebody else. Just anybody else.
Yeah,
just anybody else. Yeah, just anyone else. Just someone else that's not Pipkins.
Yeah, I mean, I want to
bring
hear
in another kick, man.
If you guys have like thoughts on like D tackles or O line that we could bring in that are free agents, throw them out there. I'd like to learn about who the available guys are. But
Storm Norton's new son, he probably came out giant. He's probably ready to go and be better than Pipkins.
Right. Put him in pads, get him a helmet. Let's go.
Get him a couple practices. Get rolling.
All right. Hey, Rivers Me Timber, thank you for asking an awesome question. Let's move it on now to Moto Doctor.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question? That was quite the roller coaster ride. Can't believe our stapling young man pulled off that victory. Give me 3 teams in the AFC that you think the Chargers would have the hardest time beating. I can't do Jeff Bridges. True Grit.
That was a good request, though.
That was a good request.
I think we played a couple of them already.
Right.
I think the Chiefs are always going to be a pain in the ass, and then the Browns were not. That was Bills and the Browns. I think those are the 3.
Chiefs, Bills, Browns.
Yeah, I think that's it. Honestly,
dude, BBC. I don't know. Like, and potentially the Ravens, who we see this week. It's like we've kind of gone through the gauntlet of a lot of the best teams in the AFC.
We have, and guess what? We're 4-1, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, in my opinion, it would be like the Bills, Chiefs, Browns, or Ravens. So it was doing good so far.
Yeah, doing good so far. Moto Doctor, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Coach Lago. Yeah, who asked the question?
Bros, what a game. Man, added about 3 white hairs to the beard. Gonna look like Wooldog soon. Coach, I know the defense didn't play very well, but they got some key stops, and it has to bode well for this team's confidence that they can win ugly games and track meets. Question 1. Confidence level going into Baltimore? Question 2. I believe Phil Mickelson is a Bolts fan. Can we get him and Vizcaino hooked up? Kicking is close to playing golf, and Phil has overcome a lot of scar tissue to win a major at 50. We need some of that golf psychology for our boy. Can't love you, bye.
Golf question. I love it.
Yeah, wow.
I love how you connected
I like
that.
the analogy. Yeah. Confidence level going into Baltimore, guys?
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I couldn't
10 out of
be
10.
more confident.
10 out of 10. Feeling good.
Yeah. I don't care who it is. We're ready.
We ready. We ready. We ready for Baltimore.
Balls. Staley's balls. That's what I thought you were going.
And then Phil Mickelson. Dude,
Hey,
whatever works.
Whatever helps. Yeah, bring him in. If he's a fan, let him come on.
Yeah, if he's got to
try to get Volcano Vizcaino on a all coffee diet, probably. And hey, let him take over our Twitter or our Instagram for a day. That man is the best shit talker in the whole world. Phil Mickelson is. It's awesome.
Really?
Oh, it's so good. He's so funny on social media. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah. Well,
shit.
whoever runs his accounts is really funny. But yeah, he talks a lot of smack.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go check this out then.
Collab with our awesome media team. But yeah, man, I don't know. Whatever we can do to help the Volcano's mental game, let's do it. Let's get him back in
Spread
shape.
peanut butter on your armpits. I mean, if that makes you kick better, dude, I don't care.
I don't care.
Do it.
Yeah, if you got to drive backwards around the stadium twice to kick better, do it. I don't care.
I don't care.
Just get better, please, Vizcaino. We love you, buddy.
Quickly.
All right. Coach Lago, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Danny Lags, who asked the question.
Hey, yo, bolt the duck up. Herbert is a gunslinger. Question. Thoughts on the rest of the schedule at this point? Bolt gang, young bucks. Yay.
All right. The rest of the schedule. We're looking at, obviously, the Ravens.
Right.
Pats, Eagles, Vikings, Steelers, Broncos twice, Bengals, Giants, another Kansas City, Texans, and yet again the Raiders.
It just looks nice. It
looks really good, dude.
We got through the girth of our schedule here at the beginning.
Hard.
Yeah. There's a tough. Whereas the rest of the AFC West, I feel like had their cake games and early on, and they're gonna have to go through that.
Saw what happened to Denver.
Yeah.
Saw what just happened to Denver.
Right.
They could not hang with the 1-3 Steelers. So
Yeah. I don't think any of the games are necessarily going to be easy.
We shouldn't think that way.
Still,
but shouldn't think that way. Yeah, for sure.
Never think that way. But looking at records and the strength of the schedule we have remaining, pretty exciting.
Exciting.
Looking forward to it. So Danny Lags, thank you for asking the question.
Thanks,
Moving on now to Bobby Caldrone,
Bobby,
who asked the question.
Hey, Bobby.
Finding ways to win. Such a better narrative than finding ways to lose. No questions, just loving this winning streak, this team, this excitement. Can't love you, bye.
I
love it.
Dude, it's Bobby's same, bro.
That's it, dude. We're just living the high life right now.
Yes.
Man. The amount of instant reactions we've done this season is like almost to what we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Are you with me on that?
I'm with
Pretty
you.
Crazy.
Yeah, I love that sentiment. Finding ways to win is better than finding ways to lose.
100%.
Yeah, we're getting them done, dude. We're getting it done. Bobby, thank you for showing up and making such an excellent comment. We love that here. Let's move it on now to Charger Chris, who asked the question.
Do you see Brandon Staley winning Coach of the Year? And do you see the Chargers winning the AFC West Division?
Yes.
I think this is certified fresh too. Sorry.
Okay.
Laker Chris.
Charger Chris, you are certified fresh.
Certified fresh.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Chargers are leading the AFC, period, right now. So yes, let's let them lead the AFC
The
West.
narrative is just how ballsy he is, but how it's not like reckless. You know what I mean? It's
aggressive, not reckless.
Aggressive, not reckless. So
competitive casual.
Competitive
casual. Yes.
Yes.
D.
Love it. Charger Chris, thank you for asking the questions. We move it on now to Gruder McBolt, who asked the question.
Crikey, After this game, the organization has to realize we're in win-now mode. Do the Chargers get aggressive and spend money on a defensive tackle and O-line, especially with the Bushi going down? If we go to Baltimore and beat the Ravens, I can't imagine them not spending money to make a Super Bowl run. Love you, boy. Also, bushwhacking. Yeah. Go jam some thumbs up some buttholes or something. I don't know. Yeah. Bushwhacking.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, dude. I don't know that it's necessarily that we got to spend the money. I think Staley is molding these guys into being the better talent. Like you said, like if the Rams had the worst rushing defense at the start of the season, but turned into the best without making necessarily any big gains or big changes to the players, why not with us?
And there is something to be said for, like, if we're looking this good going into our bye week and there is the opportunity, I'm sure they're always looking for opportunities to upgrade our roster.
Right.
Yeah. Question is like a big trade. I don't think that we've ever seen anything quite like that from Tom.
That would be different. Yeah.
But that's just not. That's not. I don't know. This is not the MLB.
It's not the way.
Baseball. You know, like
one guy that's going to change everything.
No, it's just not really what it is. Like I could see potentially going to find. I don't know. I just think if there was a guy we would have heard about it by now. We are in win now mode, regardless of how the season started. That was the attitude coming in. Because Coach Staley wants to keep his job, so we always has to be win now.
Right.
And you have Justin Herbert on his rookie contract. Before the season started, we were 0-0. It's win now.
Right.
So they made all the moves they wanted to make. I just don't see any big time moves coming right now.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, if it happens, we'll be surprised.
I'll be excited and.
We've been wrong before on the Charger Chat. We wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. But hey, Gruder McBolt, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Super Bolt's champs.
Yeah.
Who asked the question?
What's up, guys? Great team win for sure. I've seen a high-scoring game since the Bengals game back in 2006. That game pushed us to the playoffs. Now, should we start ring-sizing our players? What do you guys think? One more thing, we need to stop that no fan shit. It's getting annoying. Keep that great energy, guys. Love the pod and keep on bolting. Love you, bye. Shoot, I almost forgot. Fuck the Raiders. No Moss Chiefs. What is there, another team in our division? Oh, yeah. Fuck the Donkeys.
Oh, God. So I'm bad about jinxing stuff. I don't like talking about injuries. I don't like talking about the stuff. So knock on wood. Not yet. I want to get there, but I don't want to get.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Let's one step at a time.
It's a long season, man.
Yeah, it's a long season. Yeah,
but yes, size them up. I changed my mind.
Yeah, shamelessly positive. Size them up. And
what does it hurt to have their ring size?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah,
right. It doesn't hurt. You just got to size. Yeah, size them up. Everybody's getting special rings.
Get a quote.
Whistle wings. Yeah.
Size them up.
Get a quote.
You need more than a quote.
Get a quote. Get a couple quotes.
Yeah. Start some competition.
Right. And yeah, there's no
We're all
fans.
about competing.
We're even competing on who's going to give us the best price on rings.
And competing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
With the ring guys too.
Get quotes.
Kick man.
Get quotes.
And yeah, the no fans nonsense. It's not true. I think Kyle made a great point about it. Like, when being in an area that you're going to get out of towners, and that's it's going to happen. But fans are there. We're all over the place, and I think more is going to start showing up at this stadium. The more we keep winning, the more we keep balling out like we are right now.
That last game, man.
Every fourth down that we convert is going to bring more fans to that stadium.
Sure.
So, hey, Super Bowl's champs, thanks for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with Jay Rudy, who asked the question.
Shoot! What the fuck is up, Charger Chat? How the fuck do you think Staley's balls feed his pants? He continues to go for it on fourth down and doesn't give a fuck who knows about it. After the Browns win, my fucking body felt like it was going to jump out of my fucking skin. Speaking of skin, how about the way Herbert was slinging that pigskin around on them Browns? It sure feels nice to have the best QB and head coach in the league. Here's my question. What NFC team do y'all think the Chargers beat in the Super Bowl this year? Love you, bye.
God,
I love it.
My throat is dead. NFC teams.
Right now, the Cardinals look scary.
Yeah.
Cardinals look scary good. So that's the team I would put.
Personally, for my household, I'd like to see the Packers.
Because
Staley lost to them.
I don't know how that would be good for your household.
You want your
at all.
marriage to get even more rockier than it could possibly be.
How dare you? No, but the reason I say it is not for my marriage or for my wife. Love of
my
Packers.
wife.
It's because the last game that Staley lost with the Rams was at the hands of the Packers, and I want to see him.
I see what you did there.
I really want to see the Rams in the Super Bowl.
I was going to say the Rams. I would love to see the two LA teams playing in the LA
Although
stadium.
If that happened, everyone would be like, "Oh, the NFL's in on it. They set this up. There's no way that these two teams should have made it." There's always some excuse as to why the Chargers are
That's
winning
fine.
games.
They can go make that excuse in a deep, dark cave that nobody else can hear them. I would love to see, not just the narrative of like LA and LA in LA, but Staley.
That would be nuts.
Against McVay.
Yeah.
That would be, that's the storyline there for that game.
Is it also petty that I don't want the other LA team to make it to the Super Bowl?
You don't want them to make it?
No. I want to be the LA team. I don't. It's just like fucking
But
Hard
I want to
Knocks.
beat them though.
Do you want to share
That's what I'm saying.
a fucking Super Bowl with the
Yes,
Hard
so that
Knocks
we can
guys?
beat them and show them who the real LA team is. That's what I want.
Like
and I want Staley to.
You're being really competitive casual right now, and I like that.
I can't help it. I've learned from the best. All right, Jay Rudy, thank you for asking the question, and thank you everybody who asks Bolt Fam. We appreciate it here at Charger Chat. And before we go out of this episode, it's time for Bolt predictions. What do we got, guys?
I can go first.
Okay.
No one else
Go
else
for
was
it.
jumping at the bit. I'm going to go, this is kind of bold, but I think I'm going to go 31-17 Chargers.
Shut up. That's what I have written down right here, right now.
31-17 Chargers. And I'm going to say, this isn't the most bold thing in the world, but I think it is pretty bold considering the team we're playing. We're going to keep them under 125 yards rushing. After giving us 220 last week. Under 125 yards rushing.
Wow.
Okay,
well, Kevin, we know your score. What's your bold
seriously,
prediction?
I wrote that down. I'm not like copying your shit. I literally wrote that down. I think Herbert has another awesome game, and he throws for 350, and Bosa gets 2 sacks.
Wow. Very nice.
Aggressive.
I'm gonna say 34-24, and I'll make a bold prediction that any kick that Vizcaino has to kick, he's gonna make.
He's 100%.
He's gonna make all his kicks.
Shamelessly
100%
positive.
Go kick, man.
Go kick, man. Go kick, man. All right, folks. Thank you for sticking around for yet another long ass episode of another victory
crazy.
episode.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, and it's just another victory episode that's always so sweet, and we just love to sit around and chat about it. So thank you for sticking around with us, and folks, don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
K, love you, bye.
K, love you, bye.
K, love you, bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
So you've got a trip coming up, and you really want to bring your favorite Brassbawlz, but the airline only allows one carry-on. What are you going to do? Well, fret no more, because there's Brandon's Brass Ball Bag. Brandon's Brass Ball Bag allows you to take your balls anywhere you go. And the bags are TSA approved, so they fit perfectly in the overhead bin for easy travel. So don't leave your brass balls at home. Bring them wherever you are with Brandon's Brass Ball Bag. Now in competitive casual.